shit, my bride. I got my bride. She's here reading comments. So let me flip her around. And everything will be legit now. It'll be not backwards or none of that good stuff. So how do we look on your camera? We're a little bit behind. We're setting it up now because we don't have internet yet. Once we get our internet, we don't have to do this funky stuff. But we'll adapt. We'll adjust and adapt. That's live, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want?
No, you went off. Let me sit down and make sure we're good. Are we good? I'm not too far away. Kind of a ways, huh? I probably should put the camera up here. Let's do it right here. Looking good so far. Let's see what we look like here. Not bad. Close. Let's see here.
No, other way. Yeah.
That should be good, right?
Yep.
And then down just a hair.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
He says, "What's up, Jimmy James?"
Well, look at what we did. We did this. We buffed it. And woo! Does it look good or what? Move that light out of the way. I don't need that no more. So yeah, we buffed it up. Been working out here for a little while. I just wanted to see how it turned out. How's it look now? We're good? Mm-hmm. I'm centered. Yep, I'm centered. I'm pretty good.
As centered as you'll be.
All right, centered as it'll be. So yeah, I put the McGuire's number 6 on it, and I just did it by hand, and I took a sponge and buffed it off with a sponge, and it just shined. It's amazing how quickly it buffed right up. There's a lot of little patina, a lot of little stuff in it, but who cares? It's going to look great like that. It'll be nice and shiny, and from 10 feet, it'll look great. Maybe 20.
Rob says it looks awesome.
What's that?
Rob says it looks awesome.
Okay, good. Well, thank you. So yeah, that's what we got going today. Probably going to have a little pipe since I haven't smoked one in for a long time. I got this really cool humidor that my son Ryder got for me, and all this tobacco my son Hunter and Emily got for me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the Jeep stuff. Looks like Jeepster is where you get most of the parts.
Jazzry, if that's how I'm saying it correctly, says, "Hi, bro."
What's up? And who was it?
Jazzry, Jasri.
Okay.
Jazzri. Not sure if I'm saying it correctly.
All right, very good. I got all my stuff in this little tweaker mason jar. But yeah, today we're going to use the Savinelli Bing's. That's Bing's favorite. So this is mimicked after Bing Crosby. He was a singer and actor, golfer, fisherman, outdoorsman.
Is it pronounced Jazzri? Is that correct? He's from Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia. Very cool. Well, welcome to Idaho, because that's where we are right now. We're in Idaho. I got my mic all crunched up. All right. So yeah, we're in Idaho. And if I can get the Colt. So this is called Blood Red Moon pipe tobacco from Colt. And the gentleman I bought this from up there in Spokane said that this is the most popular one kind of worldwide for just, a canned tobacco type thing. This is a big one. So I've actually had a smoke off it before, and I got to tell you, it looks amazing.
And I don't give a, says, "Love the Jeep."
Well, thank you. So that's our latest project. We got a Blazer right here we're working on. In fact, here in a little while I got to start changing the spark plug wires in it. And that's Ben Wade, Coach Ben Wade, which most people know him by. He is currently the 50th season of Survivor. He's been on there. This will be his fourth time, right? Yeah, fourth time. So he'll be out fourth time, and I'm getting his Blazer going for him. I fixed a few things on it already, and today is going to be the spark plug wires, and hopefully that cures the bad miss it has, because they look like spaghetti and they're hitting the headers and all sorts of stuff. So that is the latest plan. So I don't know if I packed these right. I've just been watching lots of YouTube videos on it, but that's what I do. Just kind of lightly put it in there and just barely push it down.
Jazz Reese subscribed. Thank you for that.
Hey, thank you for the subscribe. We appreciate that a bunch. That means a lot to us. We hope that you enjoy our videos as we go. I just did a video today. It won't be out for a day or two, but I did one on the Jeep just showing me how I buffed that one hood section and how the difference is. It's shocking how much better it turned out, and how easy it is, and simple. And people can do this to any patinaed car. Just because it has patina and wear and tear and use on it, or love marks, does not mean you can't just buff it up and make it look presentable. And that's what we're doing with this. We're going to make it look presentable.
And then Yuvana, I don't know if that's how you say it, says, hi, and what are you going to do, old man?
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to smoke a pipe. It's called a Savanilli, and it's called Bing's Favorite. And it's an Italian pipe, and it's mimicked after Bing Crosby. So there's the pipe. It has a little golf club thing on it, because I guess Bing loved to golf. And we're going to have that. We're using the Colt tobacco, which the gentleman in Spokane told me that's the one. And so far, so good. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to relax out here.
And then Toby H says, greetings from Germany.
Oh, Germany, what's up? That's cool. What part of Germany? What city? Like I know, I don't know. All I know is what I've seen on the internet and on TV. So I know our neighbor loves Germany. She's from Germany, so her family is. So they go every year.
And Rob says patina equals character.
Yeah, patina equals character. Little love marks. In fact, most of those love marks, I was probably in it or flying out of it. That's why they got the marks.
West Germany City, Cologne. Not sure. That's West Germany City, Cologne.
So now, since they merged, East Germany, because I'm from the era when it was East and West, and so when the wall came down and all that, is it now still separate in some ways, or just completely back to Germany? Because we don't know. I don't know. I'm sure somebody knows, but I do not know. I'd be interested to learn that.
And then Jazri says, give words of encouragement to Arjun, bro. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that, so I don't know.
Okay.
Rolando says, why do you think basketball Americans off each other so much, like astronomical numbers? I don't know what that is. Rob says, or caused it. Easy money. Are you going to spray coats of clear coat over it?
No, I'm not going to clear it. I don't clear any of my patinaed. That's a great question. Thank you for that one. That's a good one. So basically, if you follow my channel and you've seen my stuff, a lot of people have. I had a 56 Chevy station wagon. It was a two-door 150 handyman. It had original paint on it. And I did this before patina was kind of cool. I saw one guy that had one back east, and it was a blue one and an LS in it, and its name was Vern, was the name of the car. And I want to give him a shout out because that kind of got me started on that journey when I saw that car. I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So, they were out there, but very, very minimal. And when I first brought that car out, it was people kind of turned their nose up to it. What color are you going to paint it? It was just kind of got old after the first couple of years about listening to people kind of turn their nose up to it. People started then clearing them, and I considered it. Believe me, I really looked into hard. That's kind of what I was going to do. And then I noticed that why would I clear something when I don't want it paint anyways? So therefore, I didn't clear it. There's a couple reasons why. One, now I got to maintain it like it's a paint job. Two, when you have rust and moisture under the paint, because you do have it, it's there, and you seal it in with clear, it tends to bubble and yellow. It tends to come apart, tends to flake. It becomes an issue. And the cost wasn't a big deal, but a cost also. So I did a few things with it. I put a patina sauce on it, my sweet patina, and I also buffed and waxed it. That's two different kinds of ways I kept it the way it was. And so this Jeep, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a buff and wheel on it, wax it. That's what I'm going to do to start with. Will I continue it with the sweet patina sauce? Possibly. We'll see where I get with it and what I feel like. So
Um, Jazri, I'm guessing is a soccer guy. He's
okay.
asking about predictions for Real Madrid versus and I don't know how to pronounce it, but we're not much in on
So
the soccer game.
soccer, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I tell you about football and baseball, and even basketball, as long as it's the Warriors or the Kings. But the rest of the teams, the rest of the sports, not real hip on them. No, I kind of see them on ESPN. I'll probably see who wins and all that kind of stuff. But no, can't give you a prediction because I don't have any knowledge.
And then going back to Toby, official were one, but the East Germany are more friendly to Putin in West. We don't like him.
Okay,
And then Rob says, if you can, it tastes better when you light a pipe with a match instead of a lighter.
right.
And then Toby says, what cars do you drive? Sorry for my English, and your English is doing just fine. So, what cars do you drive from Toby?
There was a question before that. I mean, Rob with the Versalider versus the thing, which is true.
Toby was talking about East Germany.
Oh yeah, East Germany. So basically, they're still following communism type ideas. That's kind of cool. I mean, and the Western follows Western ideas. I don't know, it's kind of cool. That's interesting to know. That's a better way to put it. So
Right.
that's great. And then what kind of cars do I drive? My new car, or newer car, is a 2021 Tundra, 1794. And my bride drives an HHR. And then our older cars, 55 Chevy, 52 Chevy, 60 Chevy Sap Truck, and soon to be driving the 53 Willy's Jeep right behind me, the 3B High Hood. That's going to be the new passion right there. That's the latest in the fleet.
Hi to William Parker. And then Rob says, is that a CJ5?
That is a CJ3B High Hood.
And then Jazri wants to see the blue car.
Okay.
And then the yellow 200SX says, awesome Jeep.
Well, thank you.
And Rob then says, what's your baseball team and football team?
So my baseball team has faded a little bit ever since baseball had the old cheating with the Houston Astros, and they didn't do nothing about it, like take the trophy from them, and just kind of went and poo-pawed it, and some of their protests and all their BS. I've really lost interest in baseball, but it's the A's. So I grew up a giant A's fan, and when I say giant A's fan, my dad was a Giants fan, so I went to a lot of Giants games. Basically Bay Area teams, but A's won 100%, with the 70s, and then the Bash Brothers in the late 80s, early 90s, and follow them. I follow them very heavy at one point. Like I didn't miss a game on the radio or on TV. Was a big baseball player going all the way up through school and all that good stuff. Did it again with my kids. But I just kind of lost interest in it with all the crying and the whining. Football team, Raiders. Raiders. I don't care if they whine or not. I'm still hooked on the Raiders.
Rob Rexroad was the one that asked that. And
Okay.
then
That's the blue
Rashida.
car.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, Rashida's from India. It's
Oh.
1:53 at night there.
Nice. We tried to go on early to see if we could catch some people from other countries.
Mulligan Wallen says not the A's. And then Chris says, do you like Ford?
No, I'm a Chevy Pontiac guy. I like Willys. But yeah, we have Chevrolets in here. So, and then we have, so that's 55 Chevy, 210. Del Rey with the small block Chevy in it. It's dirty and it needs a wash job bad. But I just,
And Toby says
for
the
that,
Americans have a fantastic car culture, but the Germans are, in terms of quality, fantastic.
well, okay then. And then we have Pontiac Safari, the Jeep. So that's a family hand-me-down or hand-me-up. I mean, this thing's a prize to us. Really, truly is. So,
And then while you're on that, what year model is the Jeep? What year and model is the
okay,
Jeep?
the model is it's a 1953 Willys CJ3B, which means it has the high hood. And then this one has 2 4-cylinders in it, one on each side, otherwise known as a small block Chevy, 265 V8 Chevrolet, with an overdrive. Whoop, with an overdrive. It even has a stereo in it over there. It says Chevrolet on it. This is built in the early 60s when this thing was built. I'm bringing it back to life. It's been sitting since 89-ish and just got it here. I just worked on the hood. I did a little buffing on it. You can see the difference. That's kind of different. There's where I put the buffing wheel and that's before. So kind of gives you a great little sense of where this thing's going to go. But it sure shined up nice. I mean, the patina and all, but that was one little buffing wheel on it. So it'll turn out well. This is our 55 Chevrolet. That was my dad's, who's still with us. Hopefully he's watching. But I got to tell you, that's probably that's the car there.
Chris, the creator, says pink slips against my 95 F-150 Lightning.
What's that now?
Chris, the creator,
Yeah.
pink slips against my 95 F-150 Lightning.
Well, get your pink slip out. Sign it over because I guarantee that will outrun it.
And
But
then
you never know.
863, that man says it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Felix says, how much, bro?
How much for what? Nothing's
then
for sale.
Rob Rex Road, he's a Pirates and Steelers fan.
Oh, no. We are family.
Rob Rex Road.
Yeah.
Rob Rex Road, not Rob.
No, I said we are family. Pirates, they sang we are family when they won the World Series in 79 or 80.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like confused.
You're like, we're not family. No, they sang we are family.
And nice cars, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. And then this one's for sale, though. Let me show this one to you. Don't want to lose it, but I got a 53, or yeah, 52 Chevrolet. So there it is. Original paint. Just got it out. We're just kind of pulling some stuff out of it, so had the trunk open. This is Coach Ben Wade's Blazer. He is 50th on Survivor, 50th series, or 50th series, right? 50th season.
Yeah,
50th
yeah.
season. So, all right, there's the walk around. Now let's go back to the sit around.
And then Anta says Opel, which I had to Google. It looks like it's some sort of German vehicle.
Oh, that's Opel.
Something.
That's an Opel.
Oh, Opel. Okay.
Yep, Opel, like a mini Corvettes.
Okay.
Opel's cool cars.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Alabama.
Do you like fishing?
Yep, I do like fishing. I don't get out as much as I used to, but yeah, I like fishing.
And then we won't be singing that again until Bob sells the tape.
That's probably true. So if I had to switch teams, Steelers and Pirates might be the ones I would have to switch to. I don't know if I had to switch, but I'm still mad about the Immaculate Reception. Still irritated over that. But I still remember Dave Parker throwing people out in the All-Star game from right field, gunning them out. Oh, Willie Stargell and all that stuff. I loved the hats they had with the stripes around them and I just like all that stuff. Kind of cool.
863 says, that Chevy Blazer is a dream vehicle of mine.
Very cool. So it belongs to Coach Ben Wade of Survivor fame, Dragon Slayer. It's his. He's on the 50th season of Survivor, and his Blazer happens to be here. I wonder what he's doing. Huh. He might be on the beach somewhere. So I'm getting this thing tuned up for him. It runs pretty crappy. We're trying to fix some of the misses in it, and it was put together well. It just wasn't maintained super well, and some of the stuff wasn't quite quality parts, just not tightened up very well. That's the best way to put it. But it's a cool car.
Lils Cavell. I'm so terrible with these names. Black and yellow, obviously a Steelers
Obvious
fan.
Steelers fan or a Pirates fan.
Rob Rex Road, you'd look great in the black and yellow. Probably not going to happen. And thanks, Rob, for always reminding people to like and hit that subscribe button.
Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So I'm a silver and black kind of guy. And, with the A's in Sacramento now, playing in the minor league thing and going to Vegas and all that, maybe I'll get back into baseball one time. So we'll see. I saw the A's had a walk-off home run the other day, so I kind of follow them a little bit, but nothing like I used to be. I used to be obsessed with it. Now I go, it happens to be on while I'm doing something. I'll listen to it or watch it or something. But short of that,
He says you're halfway there.
we're halfway there. Halfway there to what?
Probably silver and black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going to stay silver and black. So, especially with Pete Carroll. I was just watching Pete Carroll. We'll see how Pete does.
And then did you answer, I can read, did you answer about the fishing?
Yeah, I say I like fishing.
Okay.
But on the fishing part, I don't do it much anymore. When I was a kid, I fished a lot. My dad had a bass boat, and we went all the time. And I did fish for a while, and I kind of go off and on it. And I haven't fished in a while, so but I like it. It's fine. I just have other interests that take more of my time.
Is that a Willy standing behind you?
That is a Willys. That's a 1953 Willys High Hood, the CJ3B, which means it's a high hood. And I'm not an expert on Jeeps. I've had 3 of them. This is the 3rd one. I've had a CJ5. I had an original Ford Jeep that was a military Jeep. And then now this one.
And what type of tobacco are you smoking?
So right now I'm smoking Colt.
Today is National Go Fishing Day, if you did not know.
Oh, that's cool. National Go Fishing Day.
We did not know.
Did not know. So this is Blood Red Moon Pipe Tobacco by Colt. It was recommended to me by the tobacco guy. He has a pipe company up there. It's called Tobacco World.
Devil Blood says, what you smoke, bro, and tobacco pipe, or pipe tobacco.
Yeah, it's pipe tobacco. So yeah, it's pipe tobacco, and I'm new to it. I'm new to smoking the pipe. I bought a Savinelli, Bing's favorite. I also have a little collection I bought.
He says, what's inside the smoke machine?
That's that Blood Red Moon pipe tobacco by Colt on this one.
And then Rob says, Jeeps haven't been the same since they were sold from American Motors.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, one Jeep I do like is they call it the Wrangler because it has the square headlights. But I do like the way that Jeep looks. Something about it's kind of grown on me. When it first came out, I went, oh my gosh, that's terrible. And then now I look back at it and I'm like, it looked kind of cool. I guess because of the vintage of it. Because, the square headlights now. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the newer ones, but.
Liz Colville made the comment, I have had so many bad encounters with Jeep drivers out on the road. They're so annoying.
That's what I say about Cummins diesel drivers and the Power Stroke guys with the big tubes hanging out, rolling all the coal.
And then Rob just said, be sure to wash the tip when you're done smoking.
Will do.
And Devil's Blood said, love from India. Namaste.
All right, India. Yeah, so any advice on the pipe smoking? I'm well into it because I'm so new at it. I do have a collection of them here. I have what do they call that? The Measham, the corn cob, and I have this one. This is kind of cool. I don't remember the names of all of them, but then I have this one here. That's another cool one. So I bought a collection from a friend of mine. This is it. How about that one, huh? That one's kind of cool.
And then Rob says, yeah, I like the YJ square headlights Jeep too. And then you have a request to show the Jeep.
Okay.
Hi, Aussie Jace. Do you use metal filters?
I don't. These have stingers in them. A couple of these do. But this just has that neck down piece in this one. I have some other ones that have filters in it, but I don't really smoke them with filters. And I don't smoke that much yet, so I'm not really worried about it. So, and then I bought this pipe here. And then this one's cool right here. Got a native type carving on it.
And then I don't know if it's pronounced Lassie. I have a 1988 Wrangler and have had it for 10 years and drive it in Sweden.
Oh, that's cool. So the 88 is the square headlight one.
And then did you just hold up the ZZ Top looking one?
Yeah.
Okay, because someone says, is that from ZZ Top?
That one and that one.
So, and Devil's Blood says, I am seeing this first time in my life. I've never seen this before. Do you smoke daily?
I do not. In fact, I didn't smoke all week. All last week, I didn't smoke at all. I got home from our little trip. I smoked a little bit.
Show the Jeep.
Yeah, I'll show the Jeep. I'm gonna lay that down. I smoked on our little. When we got back, I smoked just a little bit on the trip, and I was tired, went to bed. But yeah, I don't smoke, but every once in a while, I'm new at it. Okay, so this is the Jeep. We're just gonna call it from Uncle Bob. I've known Bob my whole life, really tight with Bob, and Bob is no longer with us, and that's a whole nother sad deal there. But as a kid, I went in the Rubicon this with Bob. My dad and I drove this thing. It was the first vehicle I ever drove. I'm super tight with the family since I was born day one, and this Jeep was parked in his shop, and all of us wanted to see it back on the road. So they gave me the what do they call it? The okay to get it back on the road, and that's what we're doing. So I just buffed up the one side of the hood. I did a video earlier. I'll put it out later, just showing what you can do with paint that's been sitting versus shiny. It has a small block in it. And Bob's uncle is who built this in the early 60s. 61 is what my dad told me. 61, 62-ish. It's a 265 with power steering. It has front and rear lockers. On my live the other day, somebody said that's a winch off like an old D8 Cat, a blade winch to lift the blade up. And it was all handmade. It has an A-arm for a tow bar. This thing's been towed a lot. Again, it's a 53 Willys CJ3B. It's got a Cadillac seat, we've determined. They did a lot of trick things. I like it. And I'm going to keep it the way it is. I'm going to update a few things, but for the most part, it's going to stay like this. I love the labels that they made, for it. It has a heater in it. It has the Motorola speaker. It has the Chevrolet stereo that still works. Ashtray, all this was put in this thing. He did a great job with it back in the early 60s. We used to deer hunt out of this a lot, and we put there's the buffing wheel. We put the seat out the back, up high. And me and Richie used to ride on that seat right there as kids, a lot. We piled a lot of people in this thing. This thing is well used and has seen a a lot of fun times and a lot of memories come flooding back the minute I brought it in. Oh, it's got Atlas hubs on it, or Cutlass hubs on it, excuse me. Let me move this thing up a little bit. It's starting to slide. There we go. Whoop, hold on here. All right. Now it doesn't want to balance. These gimbals are a pain in the butt. All right. So we're back on track, hopefully. Nope. Nope. The gimbal's having issues. Let's see here. So yeah, that's the Willys. And there's the Safari back over here. That's our Pontiac Safari we're working on. And of course, my 55 Chevy. It's a very nice car. It needs a bath though, something fierce. It's an 11-second car in street trim. If it goes much faster, they're gonna make me put a roll bar in it. But yeah, there it is. And it's a Del Rey, a 210 Del Rey. It's got the battery cut off in the trunk and all that good stuff. Yeah, there it is. So it's got Mickey's on the rear. That's it. Oh, and we talked about Raiders. Raiders. We've been there a bunch. And then there's even an A's, huh? More Raider stuff. Raiders everywhere. And my friends at Napa, love my Napa. Oh, yeah, there's the Raiders. All right, hope that was all good. What did I miss?
I don't know because I wasn't sure where you.
Where'd we leave off?
Germany is back. Where do you live? And is your wife reading the questions? Yes, I am reading the questions.
Yep,
Toby.
so she's reading the questions. So because we were supposed to have internet put out in our shop here. And we put it off last week because we went and picked up the Jeep. Then they were supposed to do it yesterday, and then they called and said we can't do it, and then we haven't heard back from them. So I have to put the phone on reverse so everything looks right, because it drives me insane with my little logo, my little Jimmy James Garage logo backwards, and everything's backwards to me. You know, people out here probably don't notice it, but it bugs me. So I have her read the questions because I can't see it. I have to look at the back of the phone because I don't have the internet. Until I get the internet hooked up, I can get the camera going, I can do it all that way. But yeah, so there you go.
And then I'm guessing when you were talking about the Jeep Devil's Blood, how old this Jeep, sir?
It's a 53,
Which
1953.
And this is too old, and this is real gold. Do you day work in the garage?
No, this is my shop. I'm retired, and I just work and do car stuff for friends. Like Coach Ben Wade here, got his Blazer in here. I work on my own stuff. We go to car shows, and my kids come over and we work in here, and just piddle around. So.
And then you commented so many old memories, obviously from the pictures.
Oh yeah.
Is being a mechanic the path to riches?
No. Nope.
What is your thought about them 1996 Chevy Impalas?
They're cool.
Caprices.
Yep. I like them, especially when they have the 5.7 in them. So the reverse cooling. Yep. Those are cool. They have cast iron heads on the Impalas. The Corvettes that year had aluminum heads. I like them. So they were used in law enforcement for quite a while in those years. Fast car.
And then we have someone commenting, and I can't pronounce the name, and a different language, so I think it's French, but would have to translate it because we don't know it.
Okay.
And then how much is the price of gas in America?
What did we pay for gas the other day? So
Well, it depends on what part you're in.
Yeah, it really varies. So our gas prices here in Podunk, Idaho, where we're in the middle of kind of nowhere, the gas isn't that bad. It's like
Three something.
$3.30, I think.
But when we were in California
It
the
was
other day, it
almost
was
$5 a gallon.
high fours.
Just under $5. It was like $4.70 or $4.80 something. So, and why California's gas is so much more? Probably because they tax it on top of it. They have road tax, and the roads are crap.
They keep voting in more and more.
They keep voting in more tax on the gas, so it really skyrockets it. And I don't know what they get for their tax money because it ain't going into the roads, that's for sure.
And Rob Rexroad, he's got an autographed football from Terry Bradshaw.
Oh,
He
okay.
got it from his uncle who met him in Pittsburgh.
Well, that's very cool. So we have one autograph football.
We have a couple.
We have a couple. We have one that's really kind of cool. It's from Charles Woodson, and we have some signed pictures from him. My cousin was buddies with him and his agent, and they signed it and sent it to us for Christmas in one year, and sent it to the kids and sent me a football. And we took a picture of us at the stadium, and Woodson happened to be on the field in the background. It was just a picture my wife took. She wasn't planning it. The team was on the field, and everybody's yelling at her, "Hey, get out of the way. We're trying to watch the game." And she wanted to take a memory picture of her children, which I understand. He took it in and had Charles sign it, Woodson sign it. And those kids have their little picture. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a picture of them with their jersey.
They have
But
Woodson jerseys on. They liked Woodson. We always liked Charles Woodson. So,
then you also had Mike Ditka.
oh, I got Mike Ditka. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
Mike Ditka sign thing.
Actually, you got that for
I got it from Brendan, so I
For
sent it to my
Brendan, yeah.
cousin. So, yeah, we met Mike Ditka a couple times actually.
when is I don't think the restaurant's open anymore.
Oh, it's not. So
I don't think it is. I don't know.
So Ditka had his own restaurant,
Yeah, that's where it was.
and he was upstairs. We go upstairs where his little
Cigar bar.
his little cigar bar up there,
It's very cool.
and he was always there eating. The coach was always there sitting down eating, and we met him a couple times, got some things signed
The
by him. So
Best oyster shooters.
I forgot about the oyster shooters
Yeah.
there.
No devil blood. He does not smoke weed, just the tobacco pipe.
Nice.
Hello, Thomas. How does your car insurance work in the USA? Is it personal or does it apply to the car?
It applies to the car, but they also consider your personal stuff too. It's both. So it depends on what car, replacement value, all the stuff, and then it depends what your driving record is. If it's crap, if you got a lot of tickets and accidents and all that, the rates go up because of it.
And then in Germany, we pay six, I think six, it looks like 6.3 per gallon. And then it's 1.7 per liter.
So they do everything by the liter. So have to convert over because we don't do liters here.
Yeah, I think he might have it converted, but I can't. I'm having a hard time seeing the decimal or comma or whatever. A Wrangler manual transmission popping out a first and third. What do you think?
Well, I always say do the simplest stuff first. And the simplest stuff first is check the linkage. If it's coming out first and third, it could be an internal issue because, the linkage goes different for each one. It's been a long time since I've been under a Wrangler. So I would do the simplest first. But it sounds like transmission worn out. How many miles are on that?
And then Rob says, you think Coach would be okay with you showing the Blazer interior?
Oh, absolutely wouldn't. Yep, I would. So his interior is cool. He's got some ages in there. He's got some neat stuff. Yeah, Coach would be good with it. Coach is good with all of it. He's very proud of his Blazer.
And then while you're walking over there, what is the best car brand in your opinion?
Toyota. Oh, what a feeling. I'm a Toyota guy.
And then James Smith says, is that a Bel Air behind you?
So it's not a Bel Air. It is a 55 Chevy 210 Del Rey. Same basic thing. Everybody calls it a Bel Air, but it's actually the lower model. Bel Air's top model. This would be second to the top. Still has the chrome down the sides, that kind of stuff. Has fancy interior. But that's 55 210 Bel Rey, and it's dirty. It's filthy. God, I gotta get it out and wash it. Okay, so this is Ben's, Coach Ben Wade's of Survivor fame, old Dragon Slayer. It has 35s on it, 35 20s, 1250 20s. These are backcountry mud terrain. Got some sissy steps on it, which I absolutely love because it's hard for me to get it out. Somebody at some point put these electric mirrors on there. And then the inside is real nice. So I got the transmission indicator working yesterday. I had the whole dash apart, and I had to actually drop a bolt in there to get the cable to run on because the dash has actually been cut to get these autometer gauges in there, which are really slick. They did a great job. The problem is the shift indicator has to have a bolt in it. It's not going to last. It's going to be rubbing on that bolt for a long time. Even though I greased the crap out of it, it won't last forever. But yes, this is Ben's inside of his Blazer. So it's got a full seat in the back, all the good stuff. Let's we can look under the hood. Under the hood's kind of cool. I got the air cleaner off because I was working. I dropped the hood while we did it live, but you'll get the idea of it. Come on, there we go. Need to adjust that probably. So this is under the hood. And it has the air conditioning pump's been taken off. We're going to put air conditioning back on it. And then it has those old Camaro Corvette valve covers on there. It's got an Edelbrock intake on it, Edelbrock carburetor. Even though this is a fuel-injected car, it's got the Doug Thorley headers on it. Somebody put a carburetor on it one time, and they kept the serpentine belt. They painted it all fancy orange, but yeah, that's it. It's still got the nice mat under it, so it's in good shape. It just needs to be touched. So yeah, it's a very, very nice rig. But that's it. So there we go. Very cool, 1991. And then there's the stroker motor in that thing with the big Holly XP on it, and the CVF water pump and pulleys, which I am in love with. If you guys need any pump, pulleys, or whatever, go to CVF and buy theirs. They got neat stuff. And that's a serpentine belt I just put on it. Yeah, and I did a video on it on my channel. But yeah, that is a nice setup. Well, this car runs good. It's an 11-second car, so. All right.
Rob said, good chatting with you. I subscribe to your channel, but have to drop off and get to cooking dinner.
All right.
Thanks
Sounds good. Thank you for the subscribe. Truly appreciate it more than you can imagine. Thank you so much.
Ashley.
Thank you.
Ashley said, Matt and I think it looks nice.
What's that?
Ashley, Matt and I think it looks nice.
Oh, the Blazer?
Ashley.
Okay, yeah, it's a nice Blazer. It's very nice. The longer it stays here, the more I like it. Ben's going to have a hard time getting it back. Coach is going to be like, hey, what happened to my Blazer? Oh, I don't know. Weird. Disappeared.
And then 100,000 miles original clutch.
Oh. So, it's pretty good. But, yeah, it's probably got a worn-out transmission, be my guess. I'm thinking it's the same one, right? The one talking about popping out yet?
Yeah, the Wrangler.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. 100,000 miles, a lot of miles on them older vehicles. So I think it's going to have a sync rod or something in it.
And then another Rob says that small block would get smoked by my G35.
Sure it will.
And then Tony says, you drinking motor oil?
No motor oil. My sweet patina sauce cup.
And then Ashley says, we have been busy over here. Seems like every time we catch you, there is a new car we can drool over. And then Rob says, I make 320 FBO and only weigh 2,800 pounds.
Okay. Is that the one that's going to eat the small block?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Very good. There's always one way to find out. Yeah, so actually this is a family family Jeep that I went and picked up. Been in my family for a lot of years, and so they picked me to bring it back to life, which I just buffed up part of the hood today, and I'm gonna get it running and turn it back to its former glory. It's a cool rig. And then this Blazer, this is only here for a few more weeks. I'm just getting it tuned up for Coach Ben Wade, who's on the 50th season of Survivor, and I'm doing videos on this thing. I'm not going to turn these videos out until, those air, for obvious reasons. I want a little bit of a, people going, coming over. But if anybody has any questions about it during lives and all that, I'll be more than glad to tell them or message me or email me or any of that stuff. I'll show you it all. But a lot of the video stuff I'm going to save until that season airs for obvious reasons. It's just to grow my channel, but I'm not hiding it by no means. It's not a secret. Just, so if anybody that's following me or it's on these really wants to know, I'd be more than glad to show you or tell you anything about it. So,
And Tony, we're in Idaho.
and we're in Cottonwood, Idaho.
And then, hello, Luis. Devil's Blood, do you have any bikes?
Pedal bikes, but no motorcycles. I have a side by side, but
And then Uni Soviet says hello.
Soviet.
Soviet, yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Uni.
So we got Germany, Soviet, India, right?
A chillin' cool white dude. Haha, enjoy, bro. That's from Philip.
Thank you.
Rob says, is that a Subaru Ashley that was on here a while back?
I think that's the same
Is
one.
that Subaru Ashley?
Yep, I think that's the same. That's what it sounds like. So,
had a Blazer that kept overheating. At one point, we were left standing and we were helped by some people who later became friends for life. That's cool.
oh, good. Did you figure out what the overheating problem was?
And she says, yes, that's me.
Oh, okay, good. And so I asked around about Subaru. I haven't had anybody, because you asked me about that, and I passed the word along. I haven't had anybody contact me on it. So I'm glad you joined us again. I kind of assumed that was. So I hope everything's going good in your neck of the woods, because it's good here. We're out here in the shop, got the door open. It's nice out. What is it, about 75 degrees out there today?
It says it is 78.
Pretty good guess. We tried to come out a little earlier today because of East Coast and foreign countries, things like that. See if we could
Hello.
talk some of those.
Hello from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, there we go. Oh, very good. I think that I am actually farther north on the hemisphere than Toronto, Canada.
And then the thermostat, which I'm thinking goes back to the Blazer that kept
Yeah.
overheating. Yeah.
Yeah, they stick. That happens. They definitely stick open. I almost wonder if car manufacturers get them to stick open on purpose, because I don't care what make, model you have, the thermostat, they can't seem to get it where it lasts forever.
And then hi Bob from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And
All right.
hi Danny. And then
Hello.
Tony says, how many meals can you make with a potato?
Well, I think you can make a lot of meals with a potato. Hey, we're in Idaho. We got potatoes everywhere. They're like growing out of the ground here. No, we're up north. We're in north central Idaho. We don't have any potatoes up here. We have canola and winter wheat and alfalfa, that kind of stuff here. But potatoes, you can make French fries. You can make, I could sound like Bubba Gump. You can saute them. You can grill them. You can deep fry them.
And then Devil asked if you have Instagram. Yes.
I do. Jimmy James Garage.
Ooh, and then Stockholm, Sweden is where
All right.
Lassie is from.
So I guess Sweden has a pretty good car culture. That's good.
And what is your Instagram?
Jimmy James Garage.
Jimmy James Garage.
Jimmy James Garage. And it'll be my logo, kind of like what my hat is. That JJC with this backslash.
Yep, the corn state.
All right.
Potatoes, corn, canola,
Uh-huh.
even hops, wine. They do wine.
They have a lot of wine here, especially in Lewiston. Lewiston's become kind of a little mecca for wine. I guess because of the climate, the way the climate has changed over the years. It's been more Napa Valley-ish. You get into Lewiston, which is north of us, about 45 miles, and it drops down to the river where the Clearwater and the Snake River and all come together, and it's probably in the 90s there today. I would say, why don't you say it's probably in the 90s in Lewiston?
Let's see.
They get good warm weather there in Lewiston.
83 currently.
Oh, 83. It's kind of a cool down. And we will have shirts coming. In fact, my daughter-in-law picked them up today from the War Buffalo, the ones that did them. They do a great job. They did my hats. And then we'll have the shirts. And then we have the soap. And we're going to finish up our Shopify hopefully the next day or so, and it'll all be online.
Matthew says, would love to have a garage beer in there. Cheers, man.
What do you say?
Would love to have a garage beer in there.
Oh, we got a garage beer. There's a Renee right there. There's a beer.
So, cheers to you, Matt.
There we go.
Um,
We even have Cold Break's 4-tap system over there too.
and then Tony says, y'all do moonshine out there? I
I'm
mean,
sure somebody does. We
yeah.
don't. But
Got a good moonshine recipe?
we don't.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, I was. So if people don't know, my bride's sitting on the other side of the camera, reading all the comments, and then she's mic'd up, but she chooses to stay off camera.
And then Willy or whatever. Is that a Mahindra 4x4?
A what?
Mahindra?
No, it isn't. It is a Willy's Jeep. It's a 53 Willys CJ3B, which is the high hood. So the military ones are the low hood. They come out with CJ2As and 3As and 3Bs and CJ5s. This kind of a small, I'm not an expert by no means on Jeeps. I've had 3 of them, but I am not an expert. The high hoods and the CJ7s were kind of the dog of the class. Everybody wanted the 5s or the 2As. And the high hoods didn't get the love, and neither did the CJ7s. Well, that world has changed. The high hood's very popular right now, and the CJ7 is probably more popular. People want them with more length, a little more room inside of them. So that CJ7, probably the most popular old Jeep on the market. The high hood 3Bs, they have a better look to them, and I think it's kind of caught on. They were so drastically different when they come out. People were like, but now after a lot of years of looking at them, they just the windows look like they fit the hood. They got a bigger grill in the front. They just look more proportionate, kind of more hot roddy. And I think that's why they've taken off.
Rob says, that one bolt that holds you up when pulling an engine? He had one yesterday and fought it. Him and his son, they worked on it, lots of PB blaster and torch, and it finally broke loose.
So I saw those pictures you sent. That was pretty good. And yeah, I know that one bolt or that one wire that you can't figure out why it's pulling on the whole car. We've all been there.
Maddie babe, well, that's unfortunate.
What's unfortunate?
He had a Jeep one time and it gave him crotch critters.
Oh.
We have a lot of classic American cars in Sweden. One of the biggest car meets is Power Meets.
Oh, that's
Many
cool.
Americans come to visit. And then
I understand that Sweden has a heck of a car culture. I've seen a lot of stuff online.
And then High Hood, by far the best looking Jeep.
Yeah, the high hoods were the dog. It's funny because they were not sought after back years ago. They were really and they've just kind of taken off all of a sudden. And I think because I don't know why. I think it's the best looking one, but that's my personal opinion. And I don't dislike the other ones because I had one. So I've had a 5 and I've had the regular hood one, but mine was made by Ford, actually. My Jeep, my first one was made by Ford. It was a Ford military Jeep, and it had a rope winch where it looked like a big spool, and you took this big heavy rope and you kind of crossed it over, and then you cinched it down, and then you pulled it in, and it became a winch. It was pretty awesome. It was neat it was a PTO. It was a military Jeep out of the military.
Hi, Mason. We're just hanging out in the garage.
Yep. Yes, that's what we're doing. Just hanging out in the Jimmy James garage. This is our little shop that we work in. Well, yeah, and a lot of the cars go.
No, you're fine.
Oh.
My phone just freezes up.
A lot of the cars go to Sweden. I hear about it all the time because I'm kind of in the mix on cars. I go to all the shows and I'm always on Facebook and Craigslist and, all that kind of stuff and eBay and all that. And A lot of stuff goes to Sweden that you guys are taking our cars. I don't blame you. And the other thing is, I am new to pipe smoking, but I can tell you when you buy an Italian 7 Illy, it smokes way better than, let's just say, a $50 pipe like this. This is a menu or something like that. Nice pipe. I thought it was pretty good, but this doesn't hold a candle to this. It is so smooth, and everything coming out of it doesn't burn your tongue. And I keep kicking that metal flower. So our son makes these, and it's hanging underneath there. But so our Flawless Fabrication, my son Ryder makes these usually around Valentine's Day, things like that. But he makes these little metal flowers, and I have one sitting on the table here, and I keep kicking the stem on it. I'm gonna move it.
Rob says, put me down for a JJG shirt 3 extra 3 fat boy size. LOL.
Okay, I'll look see what we have ordered. So,
And then James says, you heard Ford is shutting down some plants apparently. Any thoughts on the tariff situation?
so whether they shut them down or not, I heard some rumbling about it. I'll be honest with you. One thing I like about the tariff is if they're going to put tariffs on us, why would we not return the favor? You know, I think the goal is to be, personally, I think if it's equal trade, everything is great. And I think that's in the world in general. I don't want to go buy a 55 Chevy here and get screwed on it. So if a tariff brings the balance in to where it needs to be, I'm good with it. If it's just to be greedy and just to, well, we'll see how it works out. So I'm for them right now. I think it's a good way to go. We'll see. I hope it doesn't crash things. So, but I'm not that knowledgeable on that. That's not my area of expertise. My expertise is making patina shine like I did on the hood on that Willys. So, but being a car guy, I hope it all works out. New cars kind of disappoint me a little bit. They just don't have the soul or the character or they're great. You jump in them, start them, drive them, park them. They're really good for that stuff. They're great transportation, but they all look alike.
Last says, I just Googled and saw that Power Meat is the world's largest car meet.
Really?
And then GFM says, now I smoke Kentucky Italian into poker pipe, Mastro di Paja, and then it says,
Okay.
buy from Italy. What do you think about the looks of the new Toyota Tundras?
I like them. Yeah, I do like them. I'm not real fond of the V6 turbo. Anything that says turbo, I'm just not really a fan of. I don't mind an LS turbo and an old hot rod that you just drive occasionally or across, to car meets, but turbos wear out. People don't understand that turbos are not long for the world. Most of these diesel guys, very few of them get over 100,000 miles with a turbo. I mean, it does happen. There'll be always that guy that'll rattle in. Mine's got 375,000 and I never even changed the oil. There's always that guy. But for the most part, turbos wear out. Turbos, no arguing, they put out some power, economy, all that, but they tend to wear a little bit. So what was the question again? I kind of rambled on.
It was, what do you think about the Tundras?
Oh yeah, the Tundras. So yeah, I like the looks of them. I have a 2021 with the 5.7 in it. I think those year Tundras are kind of grandpa looking, but they're durable and they run good and they're just put together well and they're kind of quiet. You just don't really notice them. They just are there. I do like that as a daily driver. Park it anywhere, nobody really notices it, and away you go. But the new Tundras are pretty. They're pretty striking, actually. Any other ones?
Not right now.
How are we doing number wise?
40.
We've been good. Okay. Yeah, and then back to this pipe. Like I said, I'm brand new at this stuff. Been at it about a month, maybe a little over a month now. And the Savinelli, the Italian ones, man, you can just take it down and not even hardly smoke it and just
Old
it just keeps going.
old cars have a personality and their own quirks. New cars are dead things even when they run.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Um, the we have a busy life, and when we want to jump in a car and go to the store, or you want to go travel somewhere, it can't beat a new car. You just jump in it, hit cruise control, turn the satellite radio on, and you're just kind of in your own world. Um, but it's more of the car doesn't really give you the experience that the older ones do. Um, you'll hear people all the time, if you ain't push started one and pop the clutch, you don't know what a car is.
Mason likes his 1990 Tundra. It goes off the road really good.
Okay.
And then GFM says, we have the best Italy pipe. Sorry, I don't speak and understand well. No worries there.
And what kind of a
So,
pipe is it?
best Italy pipe.
So is that the Italian Savinelli? Because it's Italian.
And then Biscuit. Yo, Jimmy James, how the heck are you doing? Nice Jeep.
Well, thank you. And who is that?
Biscuit?
Biscuit. Hi, Biscuit. The only Biscuit I know lives in Susanville.
I only know Millie Biscuit.
No, I'm thinking of Biscuit, Nurse Biscuit.
Oh, okay.
You know what lives across the street from Elmer?
Oh, yeah, huh.
Could be her.
But I don't know.
There was a Biscuit on one of my lives before, but
I don't think
probably them.
that is, but
No, probably not.
Toyota puts in the R&D that makes them last.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, Savinelli.
Yeah, and I'm not a pro by no means, but this Savinelli, this Italian right here, this thing is definitely top notch.
And Biscuit is the guitar player from
Oh yeah,
Last
Biscuit,
Week's
that
Live,
Biscuit.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yep.
and then
What's up? What's up?
Joe says you should put some weed in there.
Yeah, I'm good. In Idaho, you can't do it.
And he played for your family dinner on taco night.
He did. So we had, what were we celebrating? My birthday? Yeah, we were at birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was on a live, and I was watching Biscuit. He knows the story, but telling everybody else. And we had it on the TV, had the little sound bar going, and we sat down for
Must have been
tacos.
for your birthday. Must have been, yeah.
Yeah, it was his birthday. It was for me and Hunter's birthday. And we had taco night. We were like, we want to make it simple. Let's just do tacos. And so we sat at our big table, and we played it in the back, and he played his guitar in the background, and we got to listen to it. It was pretty cool. It was really cool. We really enjoyed it, and thank you for doing that for us. That was awesome.
That was nice.
That was very nice. Yeah, and we have a friend. Her nickname is Biscuit. That's why it kind of threw me off. So, and I'm not looking at it. A lot of times I see I'm a visual guy, so when I see it, I know who it is. But when I just hear it, it's a little different.
Well, happy birthday then. Glad to have joined in on that.
Yep. It was awesome. It was really cool. We really liked it. So fun stuff. That made our day. We were laughing at the table like we're getting serenaded during our birthday dinner. So yeah, it was pretty good.
And then Mason says, yeah, I'll go live often. I got to go now. Yeah, you go fairly often.
I do go live often. I go live probably 3 times a week or so. And then I drop videos at least once or twice a week. I got to catch up because last week was a whirlwind. We were traveling, getting the Jeep, and we were gone for a whole week. And it's hard to do stuff on the road. It really is.
Thanks for stopping by, Mason. We'll hopefully catch you again on another live.
Yep. Thank you, Mason. Appreciate it.
And then your favorite athlete of all time?
That's a good one. Kenny Stabler.
Okay. And then Joe says it's real fun hanging out with you.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate you guys hanging out as well.
We do. We really appreciate that. And if you get a chance, go to Biscuit. Look at his comments and go look at his page. Don't go now. If you go now, just come back. Yeah, he does a lot of guitar stuff, and it's pretty cool. Just, I don't know.
James Smith, do you think there are any trucks out there like a Toyota 4x4 for under 10K around 100,000 miles?
And what kind of a Tundra? Did you say Tundra?
He says Toyota 4x4.
So if it's a Tacoma, there's plenty of them. Plenty of them. You just got to keep her out. And usually you're going to have something that's going to say how
He said
great it
any
is, and it'll
truck.
definitely have issues. So.
Any truck, he says.
Oh, yeah, they're out
Yeah.
there. Absolutely out there.
Just gotta look.
Yep. Yep.
Thoughts on a 70s Lincoln Continental?
No, I don't have much thoughts on 70 Lincoln Continental. I mean, I know what they are, but I don't know much about them. So, but anything that says 1970 and says Lincoln is pretty cool. So,
And then Rumpelstiltskin says, I like that red Jeep.
yeah, that's cool. It's a cool Jeep. It's been in my family for long time, before I can remember. So, they've decided to let me bring it back to life, and that's what we just got last week. We just brought it in here, and we're going to get it running so we can all enjoy it again, because we used to enjoy the crap out of it. It was it's seen many miles on the dirt road, and it's been on the Rubicon many times. It's been in the Sierra Nevadas. We did a lot of deer hunting out of it, and when I mean a lot of deer hunting, I mean like 8 weekends a year, just there for years and years, not for 1 or 2 years, but basically my whole life. I don't really remember not knowing that Jeep, to be honest with you. So, and then my extended family, they decided that it'd be good if Ryder and I put this thing back. Ryder's my son, and we started it. We got it cleaned up. We got most of the cobwebs out of it. We're going to do some buffing and polishing, and I got to pull the tank and reupholster the seat. I got to get Coach Ben Wade's Blazer done here in the next day or two.
It is a Jeep.
It's a Jeep.
Yeah.
It's CJ. It's a '53 Willys CJ3B.
And then Joe's first car was a 87 Cutlass Supreme.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know those well, not really the Cutlass, but the Buicks. I worked at a dealership, and we had the Buick, Pontiac, GMC trucks, so I know that style, along with the Monte Carlo, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a soft spot with me. I really like those cars because I grew up working on them at the car dealer. They were brand new then. I do check-ins on them and do big burnouts in them, and drive them around the block, make sure they're ready for sale. And, yeah, fun stuff. Those are nice cars. They're real racy looking when you get them sitting right. They have a real NASCAR look to them. But I am getting low on my tobacco.
Rob is being very sweet and saying, match my $5 donation to get you a car lift.
So what we got going is I'm going to put all the proceeds from all these videos that I got going. Rob wants to match the $5 donation. Thank you again, Rob. He puts out all my lives. He participates in all my stuff, and I really appreciate that more than I think he knows. It means the world to me. And what he's getting at is I got a bad knee. I need a knee replacement. I got a bad foot. I got all sorts of bad stuff on this left side. And getting on the ground, in fact, I have a video of how I do it. And I use a milk crate and a knee pad. And what the lift will provide, it'll provide better videos for me. So I can put it up. Instead of having the Jeep behind us, it'll have the Jeep behind us, but it'll be on somebody's lift. So if you're a lift person, you're out there right now, and you want your name on all my videos, that's where it'll be right there. So
It's late in Sweden now. I have to go to bed so I can sit in the excavator tomorrow. Be well. Take care of yourselves.
all right, peace
You
out,
as well.
Sweden. That's cool.
Thanks for coming by.
Yep, and we tried to come early to see if we could, see some people in other countries. That's awesome. I'm glad you joined us. Look forward to seeing you again. And
Joe's oldest son's favorite car is a DeLorean.
oh, the DeLoreans are cool. Back
Yep.
to the Future.
And do you like the square body Chevys from Walker?
I do. I actually own quite a few. In fact, there's a square body Chevy right there. If you like 72 or 72, if you like 91, I had a 72 Blazer forever. If you like 91 square body Blazers,
Is the DeLorean Back to the Future?
yeah.
Okay. And then he's got to go too. Have a good night, Joe. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. And if you guys have YouTube channels or Instagrams and all that, go on mine and drop a comment or something like that, and I'll go look at your stuff. I'd like to, check out your stuff as well.
And then GFM says we have a lot of good craftsman pipes made in Italy.
Oh, okay.
So
And he's the guy we've been talking about.
yeah,
The Italian.
any recommendations.
Yeah, recommendations, that'd be great. Would love to hear it. And by the way, I'm Greek, so I'm like right next. That's where my family's from, is from Greece. One side of my family.
Status on the tap contest.
We have no status. It goes until June 25th, and we are going to put out a few more videos here later this week, sending people over there. I think we got a good shot at it. We've put out a good video. We've got a lot of likes and comments. There's a couple that have a few more likes and comments, but I'm not sure that their videos are any better. So it all depends if they like. We put our best foot forward, and we'll see where it goes. I sure hope it does. But that's with Cold Break. So if you guys are watching this, go to Cold Break, Coldbreak, Cold Break, and they supply some really cool stuff. They sell you like individual small little kegerators that you can pour from and do mixed drinks on the top of them, all the way up to this 10 tap system we're trying to win. We're building a truck that's on the outside here. We're building a 60 Chevy cattle truck, and we're turning it into a mobile bar. I got all the equipment sitting over here. I'm kind of seeing the R before I finish the truck, because if I can win that, I'm going to change the truck up a little bit, because I want it to, really, I don't want to do something and go, oh, if I had had that, I could have. And since we're so close, I just pumped the brakes on it. It's ready to go. All I got to do is start drilling some holes and putting taps in. If that comes about, well, then I'm going to build a little area for it. We can do it on both sides of the truck. I can make it removable. I can put it in the Jeep and take it places. It really opens up our business that we're getting ready to do. I have to have the truck done by October, because that's when our first actual job is. And if you're not sure what a tap truck is, a mobile bar, you pull up to a wedding or a party or something of that nature. And we have taps on the side filled with beer, mixed drinks, sodas, whatever you can think of. And the guests come up to you and you give them a little red Solo cup and hand it off. And it's all ice cold. They go through these jockey boxes or jumper boxes, either one you want to call them. A jumper's when you have an exterior tap. A jockey's when the tap's on the actual box. 50 foot of stainless steel coils in them, filled with ice. Within a couple seconds, it's ice cold. So everything coming out of there is like 32 to 34 degrees, right in there, right, but just above freezing to 34 degrees. So it really works good.
And then GFM says a lot of brands. So I don't
Okay.
know. I can't remember back if it was Savelli was one that was his favorite, or if there's other ones. But
Yeah.
and
The
then
7 Illy is what we have, but
and then Ashley's can't wait to see the tap truck. It's already an awesome truck plane. It's going to be a jaw dropper. Nothing says tonight's the night.
okay.
Biscuit, got to go pick up the wife and baby. You two have yourself a great night and take care.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping
You
by again. And
too.
keep the music coming. What's that?
I said him too. Have a good night
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And then Mickey says hi.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, the tap truck's gonna be cool. We can't wait to get it going, because it's a lot of people have done the horse trailer and the enclosed trailer stuff, and it's kind of overplayed. I just think the truck for our rural area and our kind of the way people are around here, there's lots of those grain trucks or cattle trucks that look like that. So that's what we're going for. We think it's a hit. I'm a car guy, obviously, so that's the other part of it I really like, because it's still, even though I'm going to serve beer and wine and seltzers, I still can have a car there. So it's kind of cool. Kind of helps me out dual purpose.
Favorite boxer engine?
I don't have one. And the reason I don't have one is I'm just not into the German stuff. I have a couple friends that have Porsches, and lots of buddies have BMWs, but Volkswagen Bugs. But
And then actually, a gentleman asked a few minutes ago, favorite boxer of all time.
Muhammad Ali.
Easy 30, says Ashley.
Something about Mike Tyson I like, though. But yeah, George Foreman. I don't know.
What is Easy 30?
A what?
Easy 30.
Easy 30.
Ashley said Easy 30.
Easy 30. I don't know.
back to the tap truck, maybe? I don't
Or
know.
maybe they're talking about the boxer engine.
Oh. How are you? From Houston. Somebody from Houston. Tyson is my hero. Tyson's a good one.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's good. I don't know how old you are, but when I was a kid, Mike Tyson's my age basically. He was the bad man. That dude was a wrecking ball. I don't think in that. I think Ali was probably, if he wasn't taken out of his prime, for the Vietnam War stuff for those 3 years, there would be nobody better. But I'll tell you what, when Mike Tyson come out, man, that dude, you better watch out.
Unknown, we are not from Texas, and Jimmy does not box. Um,
I've been in a few
Andres,
fights though.
and then Buster Douglas was one, and then
Buster Douglas.
Ashley had said Easy 30 Subaru engine.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
We're in Cottonwood, Idaho.
Yep.
Unknown.
Yeah, we're not in Texas. We're in Cottonwood, Idaho.
This ain't Texas. Woo!
Mhm. I've never been to Texas.
Do you have a Kawasaki?
I do not.
And then
I've had them in the past, but I don't have any more right now.
that is not a 41 Willys. It's a 53 Willys.
53. It's a 53 Willys CJ 3B, which means the high hood. It's the first year of the high hood. And it's got a small block Chevy in it.
And then Sabrina says, I like that Jeep in the background, but I was wondering, I just finished restoring a 72 Yamaha
Oh, yeah.
Enduro bike I bought 2 years ago for less than $1,000. Should I keep it and modify it or sell it as is?
I couldn't answer that.
Says I wanted to learn.
It's a cool bike. There's no doubt about it. Those Enduros are cool. In fact, that box keeps
It's
making
getting
noise.
me, yeah.
My neighbor, Bob, hopefully Bob's watching from next door. I'm going to work on his Honda Trail, and it's a 60s Honda Trail type setup, 90. And we're going to do right here, we're going to do some videos on it. In fact, when I get some of these other projects caught up, he's going to wheel that thing over here and we're going to get it running. So you might regret it if you sell it because it's not like it's worth a mint. It's not like it's worth $1 million. Unless there's something specific you want, keep it for a while because you're not going to lose any money. It's not going to go, you're going to move that box, aren't you?
I
Think we have a box that's I put outside. I was going to take it to the dump and had all my parts in it and it making this scrapping noise because of the two lids and it makes us jump. It's loud actually. It makes us jump every time the wind blows it a little bit.
Unknown, I am the one talking. I just don't like to be on camera. I'm his wife. I still have my 2004 Yamaha Warrior
Oh, yeah.
1700.
That's cool.
And it's a Chevy Del Rey. Oh, somebody's asking about the Chevy,
Got a 55.
and then somebody said it's a Chevy Del Rey, which it's not a Del Rey.
It is a Del Rey.
It is a Del Rey, but what year is it?
It's a 55 Chevy 210 Del Rey.
Okay.
Originally had the Del Rey interior, and it is numbers confirmed.
And then
It's got updated interior though.
is Kawasaki Ninja 400 a good bike 2020 for 5,000?
I don't know, so I have no idea about the newer bikes.
And then Ashley says maybe someday we can encourage them both to be in front of the camera.
She doesn't want to be on camera. I don't know why. I have no idea why she doesn't want to be on camera, but
And then GFM says now we are both smoking together.
all right. Cool, that's the idea.
Brad from Fortuna. How are you guys? Loving Idaho.
Yep.
Brad McHenry.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before. Or talked with before, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love Fortuna. We always have loved Fortuna. I took a job over there and not really knowing anything about Fortuna, and we just packed our crap up and left and lived in Fortuna for 4 or 5 years and really enjoyed it. Really liked our time. I'm originally from the Valley, Sacramento, Redding, so I had an opportunity to go back to Redding. That's why we left. And our kids were getting ready to start kindergarten or elementary school, basically. And we thought now or never. If we were going to stay there, they were going to be a Fortuna Husky. And
It's a car show and rodeo next
oh,
month.
is it? Yeah.
Um,
I love the car show there.
Thank you, Andre. He said she sounds beautiful. Do you own land? Yes.
We do.
Not a lot, but a little.
We don't own the Ponderosa.
We've
We have
got,
a little bit of land.
yeah, we've got little bit. We've got chickens, goats, cows for now, but they won't be here for long.
Cows will be going. If anybody wants to buy beef, I got one for sale.
We have a mini horse, a mini mule, a mini donkey, and a big donkey.
We have the world's largest donkey, and then we have a couple beef cows. One's going to be for us. The other one's for my buddy Rod. They're Akaushi crosses, and then Berg. He's just a grade type cow, but he's been fed on our ranch here, all grass, and then we've been graining him for about 8 or 9 months. So he's big boy. He needs to find his home in the freezer. He's ready to go. So in fact, I told my son to run an ad today for him. So our son is a butcher. They own Heights Butcher Shop in Clarkston, Washington, which is in Idaho, right on the border of Idaho here. And Berg will make somebody very happy. Berg's a nice steer, but he is definitely matured. We're just not cow people. We can't keep a pet cow. And we've been preparing for this day.
They challenge the fences too much.
Yeah, they challenge the fences, and so we knew it about 8 or 9 months ago. So we started graining him real heavily. He looks excellent. I'm not a pro at looking at a cow and saying how he's going to turn out, but I know what we fed him is spring water, or not spring water, well water, and he's eating our fields down, and we've been getting the best grain you could buy for him. So
GFM has a Yamaha TT600E 2002.
okay,
And then Sabrina says, I'm keeping my bike. Then I think I was meant to have this because my dad rode and he passed when I was 11 and I wanted to learn to ride anyway. It turns too many heads and I feel bad for asking. I subbed. Thank you
I
for
think it's cool.
subscribing. And thank you for subscribing.
Yeah, and keeping it because your dad, the memory. That's what this Jeep's right here. This is Bob's. I've known Bob my whole life. Bob and I were tight. I mean, Bob used to do. I want to tell a little story about Bob. So what Bob would do later in his years, he'd sit in here, and all of a sudden the phone would ring. He'd say, "Hey, Bob, how you doing?" He'd go, "Good, pal. How you doing?" "Good. I just wanted to check on you." I mean, I miss those days, and it would happen every couple of weeks. He would just call and just make sure you were good, um, and that's his Jeep. Well, we're going to enjoy Bob's Jeep again. So
And then Canal says, Are you legal? Show me your papers. It's not weed. It's just tobacco,
oh,
pipe tobacco.
there's my papers.
And then Brad says, Nice Willys in the background. The year is 53.
53 CJ 3B.
And then unknown, my male goats keep getting sick and I don't even know what to do. Is it because of the feed? What do you feed them?
Yeah, that's a good question. It probably is the feed. That's usually what the majority is with animals.
And then GFM, I try, but I understand something. Because I think the language,
Oh, okay.
with it being
Is that the Italian?
Italy, yeah. So doing good. I mean, and I hope we're coming across easily
Yeah.
there.
That's cool that you're Italian and you're speaking Italian and it's able to translate it, and you're all the way. Which way would Italy be? It would be that way, a long freaking ways. Or we go around through Japan that way.
And then Brad says your wife should be radio.
She does have one of those. Even my dad says that. He goes, she has some of her voice is unbelievable. So I think she's pretty hot, but I don't understand why she's sitting over there. But
So if you're, and this is going back to the goats,
yeah,
are you feeding them grains and are they intact or not? And if they're just sitting there crying, there's a couple things you could be doing wrong. Grains are not good for male goats a lot of times. Sometimes just a grass hay is the best way to go. And then you got to make sure they have their minerals and things like that. They cannot have any chicken feed or anything like that. But if they're just sitting there crying and they won't eat or drink, I would call the vet. Um,
Yeah, make sure they got their minerals.
yeah,
Make sure they're fed with hay or weeds. They like weeds and hay and that
yeah.
kind of more of that balance of food. They're
And
not big into the other stuff.
if they're not peeing, that's a problem. And
Oh, they're not peeing, huh?
they could be. I would probably very much call a vet. Um, Rumpelstiltskin, thank you. I appreciate that.
And is Rumpelstiltskin the? I'm trying to keep track because I haven't been able to see the comments.
Rumpelstiltskin. I have to look back because I get. They've been on here all.
Yeah, no, I've heard
often.
the name. I'm trying to remember which conversation we're having, which one. And then once I get the internet here, I'll know exactly. But
They were asking about the Jeep, things like that.
oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I think they just gave me a compliment. So.
Oh, okay, got it.
Should they eat green grass or dry? Well, they can eat either or depending on, I mean, hay is generally dry, but ours graze out in the field, which is green. So that would be,
I would call a vet.
yeah. What are you feeding them? And then GFM says, have you bike? Do you have a bike? Just regular bikes?
I just have regular pedal bike. So I have a yellow cab 007 taxi made by Felt. Up there, it's got the 8 hangers on it. It's a beach cruiser. And then we have Claire, which is my wife's. We got the Hurley above us. Those are all Felts. And then I have a 29-inch Big Ripper BMX bike. That's at my dad's house. That's where I usually ride it down there because they have the bike trails and all that. And it's a BMX bike, but it's a big one. Obviously, with my bad knee and all that, I don't ride it as much as I'd like to anymore.
We're in Cottonwood, Idaho, and then unknown. I know vets are expensive,
They're very expensive.
but like almost 700 for a check. Oh, wow. What are you feeding them? What have you been feeding them?
And are you doing minerals? Do you have a mineral block out there for them? Or you can buy the mineral block. You can go to like Tractor Supply, or we have North 40 here, and we have Intermountain Feed. So we have 3 different ones here for us. But
How old are they?
yeah, age would be another good one. Are they drinking?
Goat feed from Tractor Supply. Okay.
Well, that should be fine.
Are they intact?
They still have their balls.
And
Or
how
they
old
weathered?
are they? Yeah, are they weathered or? And how many do you have, and are all of them sick? They're 7 months. Okay, so they're young.
Oh, they're not very old.
How many of them, and are they all sick? Yes, they have the balls. Okay, because a lot of times I know with grains, that can be an issue. I don't ever feed mine just grain. The only ones that ever get any sort of goat feed is the girls when they have babies.
We do hay.
We do hay. And, at some point I did alfalfa, and I know alfalfa sometimes can be a little rich for them. But what breed of goat are they also?
I think it's a feed issue. I
I'm
think I'd get a
guessing.
bale of hay. You should be able to get a bale of hay at Tractor Supply. Because vets are expensive, but golly, it's kind of like, and then to do a house call, the vet's probably going to be at least a couple $100.
Half and half on hay. We use, they were eating anything. They were even eating anything. I mean, I can tell you that I would go strictly grass hay. A shout out to Ty Henry.
What's up? What's up? Who?
Ty Henry.
Ty Henry, what's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us.
An emu would be interesting. I don't know. I see, I think it's an emu on one gal that I follow, and it's not a nice emu, if that's what it is. But I mean, they are. I can't say no, but I am intrigued definitely by emus. Um, but on the hay, it's a grass hay. I even have done alfalfa, but it can be a little bit rich. Um, and you got to have either the goat minerals or like even baking soda if they're getting bloated,
Oh yeah, look, see if they're bloated.
you know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But I would probably really do some Google and
Chat GPT.
yeah, and see, and maybe put them in an area where they aren't allowed to eat things that they shouldn't be eating. Because at 7 months, that's concerning.
Should be pretty healthy at 7 months. So
Yeah.
we actually have how many goats out here now?
I have 6 babies
And 5 girls.
and 5 mamas and one
And then
daddy.
Andre.
Yeah. Um, I know I've Ashley, I have 6 little baby goats and just one that was born this morning, and they are silly and fun to watch.
I got a text from my neighbor. And when I say neighbors, we're not in the neighborhood, but up the hill they can see down on our place here. And he says, "Hey, can my girls come see your goats? We see babies." So yeah, they come down and play with them, and they run and jump and go sideways and do all their things.
Ty says those are some nice trucks.
Thank you.
And then in Italy, it is 23.39, which I'm not good.
23, 39, 11, 39.
Okay, so
So you just minus 12 is what you do. For military time, you just minus 12.
yeah, there's a chicken. The chicken was just snooping in here.
Oh, was there a chicken behind me?
Yeah.
And they're crapping in my freaking garage and me got to clean up chicken crap.
Yep.
So what we have is we have my wife up by the house has these like Muppet chickens. They're kind of all different kinds. And they're always little ones. And then down here we have the meat birds, which they're American breasts, which is a French bird that was imported in America. And instead of calling them French because they're not French anymore, they're American. They call them American breasts, not breast, not like breasts, but breasts. And my wife, my bride, who the radio star is over here with the good voice, she she incubated them, and now we have chicks. So we have meat chickens that we will harvest, and we will feed our family with them. We try to eat. Doesn't look like it, but we try to eat as healthy as we possibly can. We're pretty particular on what we eat, but we have bad days, especially the day we go get tasters at Costco, which is 50 miles up the road, and we bring back caramel salted chocolates, and those aren't exactly the right thing for us. But we grow our own beef here. We have our chickens. Do we buy at the store? Yeah, we're buying stuff at the store right now because we haven't harvested our latest one. And so as soon as we harvest them, we'll be stop buying from the store bought beef. But yeah, we buy none of our stuff gets shots or any of that stuff. It's all organic type things. I know organic's a weird word, but
Unknown. This makes me sad. Hopefully, I don't know. That just makes me very sad that they're not doing well.
where are they from? Where's she from?
I think they were in Texas, but said the vet's too far away, and time's up when they're just laying down and crying.
Um,
So,
is it a lot of heat? Do they have shade?
so
That's why I asked where they're from because Texas is
yeah.
hot.
They said they're asking about, people are trying to help. Water is fresh and clean. Um, Ty says nice garage. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashley, I would love to someday have an odd farm, fancy chickens, fainting goats, zebra, which is a mini cow, or zebra mini cow. Um,
I know what you're gonna say.
yeah. The fainting goats, I think would have me too stressed out. I don't think I could do mini goats or fainting goats because even just watching the videos after a while, I think I'd be like,
Ah!
it would just stress me out.
What kind of goats do we have?
We have Nigerian dwarf,
Yeah.
a zebu. I haven't heard of that one, a mini cow.
Well, we have a donkey with zebra stripes.
No, she said it's a zebu, which is a mini cow, not a
Oh,
zebra.
oh, okay.
But we do, our big donkey has like almost zebra stripes on his leg, which is really cool.
So we picked up this donkey, and he's about 10. He's out of the Arizona desert. He's a wild donkey, and we have him here, and he's friendly. We come up and pet him and all that. But he has zebra stripes all down his legs. Pretty cool. And he's giant. He's big donkey. He's big donkey. He's rideable big donkey. And he's been gilded.
Um,
And we have a mini donkey too, little one,
yeah.
little Eugene.
Let's see. Moon, hi Moon, sup Uncle,
Moon.
Pirate, Somalia. Ashley, if anyone needs disaster help, I'm here.
Somalia?
Somalia. And then
That's Africa.
Stony
That's cool.
says, yeah, that is cool. Stony says smoke and skills. And then Rumpelstiltskin says, yeah, zebus are great. They're from Madagascar, I think. I'm gonna have to look them
I
up
don't know what
because
they are. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen them.
Yep.
And
Don't
then
give her any ideas.
and then Moon says pure weed. It's tobacco, smoking tobacco, no weed here.
Nope, it's Blood Red Moon pipe tobacco from Colt. Is this one here? And this is this Savinelli Italian, and this is called Bing's Favorite. That's the kind of pipe it is. And so Bing Crosby always smoked this type of pipe, and I thought it was just fitting, with the Jeep and the outdoors type stuff we like. I went to a smoke shop and saw this sitting there, and I just had to have it.
And then unknown, maybe you can search some local groups. I don't know if you have Facebook. Maybe search some local groups in your area that can maybe help you. I just
I
it
think I
makes me
would
so
start with
sad.
extremely fresh water.
They've
I
got,
would
he says got all the fresh water, but they're in the
the hay,
backyard. But
great shade. I'd make sure they have a mineral block.
I would maybe see if you can reach out to some people that are local, maybe that can maybe help you, because there'll be other people in the area that have goats, and maybe they can kind of help guide you. Or
So if you go on Facebook Marketplace, you might be able to put like your local, like we have. I mean, Susanville has Susanville needs, and Lewiston has Lewiston Valley, blah blah blah. You might be able to put a little ad in there of what you're having, and you'd be surprised how many experts are out there that are just willing to help, that aren't vets, that aren't going to charge you, thousands of dollars. So
GFM, the Jeep Willys is a 53. Thanks,
CJ3B.
thanks, Brad. We appreciate that. And then Ethan Kramer. What's up, bro? How you been?
What's happening? Good to see you again.
And then 1990. What year is the Blazer?
91.
So the Blazer is a 91, which is not the red Jeep, but the Blazer, that is a 91.
And that belongs to Coach Ben Wade from Survivor fame. In fact, he's on the 50th season. He's been on, this will be his fourth time on. Apparently, he's not home right now, so you can kind of put two and two together. I'm working on his Blazer, and I'm doing a lot of videos on it, so when it airs, I can air all that. But if you have any questions about it, we're not hiding it. We're not going to, oh, surprise, we had it. We're not doing any of that stuff. But if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll show you the stuff.
3 and 1 whole garage. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, 3 in 1 hole. Well, we got 4 cars in this
Oh,
truck.
yeah. Hello from Finland.
Finland, what's
Hello.
up? And I love the foreign countries. That's cool.
And then who is Joe says, do it juggle.
So we have 4 cars in here. We have a big shop.
Is that do it juggle? What do you
Do it.
juggle? Anyway, Zebus are here in Houston, a lot of them. FFA could also help, and 4-H can help on the local farming for you, unknown.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
You guys don't forget to give them a thumbs up. Let's get them to 100. Thank you. Hey, I have a quick question. I'm installing fire kit on my Chevy Optra. I'm confused about the ignition wire. Can you help me out how to find it?
What is it again?
He's saying I have installing a fire kit on my Chevy Optra.
A fire kit?
I'm confused about the ignition wire. Can you help me out how to find it? And then Ashley says, does it have a 302 CL? I don't know if that's in regards to the guy asking the question. Flame kit.
Oh, flame kit out the back that's cool. With the little spark plugs that go at the back of the exhaust. Yeah, that's cool. So ignition wire. I'm not sure exactly what vehicle you're working on. Um, you can find it off your fuse blocks, probably your easiest one.
He's doing it on a Chevy Optra.
Optra. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Did am I misunderstanding the engine? Ashley's asking question mark the engine.
Engine on what for Ashley?
She's trying to help
Oh,
the
she's
other
helping. Okay,
guy
got it, got
as
it, got it,
well. So
got it.
I think just trying to figure out. It's a
So,
2005 Chevy from India.
oh, from India, huh? So I don't really know much about those, but I can tell you one way to find it. Go to your fuse block. They'll usually be on your fuse block. There'll be a little. It would be a male um, tab, you could say, a male fitting that'll be connected to it. Take your test light, grab a test light, turn it off, check all the fuses, check all those, turn an ignition on, and then see which one lights up. That'll be your ignition.
Ashley was verifying 302, 350, and then he says also known as a Lacetti, Lacceti,
Huh.
and then
So those are foreign names, but they're Chevrolets, and
right,
it's crazy how General Motors will do other cars in other countries.
and then established in 1992 said smoke and a pancake.
Smoking a pancake. Is that a pancake?
I don't maybe I don't know.
Look at that pancake. It'd be kind of cool to make pancakes out of it.
It's
I think I'm done.
morning in your state. Here it's night. It is 2:49 in the afternoon, so we are like an afternoon, 2:49 p.m.
We're Pacific Coast time, so everything on the United States on the Pacific Coast. Our county is so big that we have mountain time just 30 miles down the road. So
And established 1992 said close enough. So
there you go. We're established in 1992.
yeah, we were married in 1992.
Yep.
The,
Yep.
and then Raj says, yes, that car was from Korea. All the parts are from Korea and it was sold in India.
Oh, that's wild. So I'm not really hip on a lot of the foreign stuff. Um, and I'm becoming more educated as I do my YouTube channel because there's so many people from other places.
And then 1992, shout out from Arizona. And then Rumpelstiltskin says it's 3:20 a.m. for him in India.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh, yeah.
3:20 in the morning.
I'd be asleep.
Yeah, I was having a hard time sleeping last night at 3:20. I kept getting up. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the dry sauna. We started doing dry sauna, and and you want to talk about it's almost like a workout after getting out of it for 20 minutes. It really is a butt kicker.
Ethan Kremer says shout out from Utah.
Utah. What part of Utah? Is it all the way to Salt Lake, or is it down by St. George? What is it? The Moab, where that thing? I don't think that thing's ever been in the Moab. No, that Jeep I don't believe has ever been there.
I cannot pronounce this name, but he was the one that asked earlier about your favorite boxer, which maybe he wasn't in here at the time when you answered
Oh,
it.
so I have a few boxers. If it comes right out of it, it's going to be Muhammad Ali. But I do like Mike Tyson. I thought he was cool, or is cool. I used George Foreman. I like George Foreman in the later years. Kind of inspirational being an old guy and just still kicking ass. Um, Sugar Ray Leonard. That's kind of my era, Sugar Ray Leonard. Um, I love when he fought old marvelous Marvin Hagler. Arguably who won, but I think Sugar Ray won it. But yeah,
GFM, it is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon
yeah.
in our state,
So they're 12 hours behind us. That's the one that's in
in Italy.
Italy. Okay.
Um, and then hello from Holland.
Holland. There we go.
Yep. My grandfather lost his leg in Holland.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. So her grandfather was in World War II. And he told me the cool story about it. And I finally asked him because he had no one leg. And he was in Vegas and we were there visiting and I jammed him up. I'm like, hey, what happened with this, leg deal getting shot off or whatever it was? And parachuting out, going into Holland, fighting the Nazis. And he landed in the street, blown up. And he didn't really say at what point he was shot, but bloodied in the street when he come out of his parachute. And then the local people there, he had said, were so kind and so giving and so thankful for them guys jumping in there. They grabbed him because the Nazis were there. They were in. He was a paratrooper coming in, behind enemy line type things, and they drug him into a butcher shop. And for a week, he spent in a butcher shop with the butcher there. And he might have said the city at one point, but the local people drug him in. They doctored him up, and they hid him from the Nazis when they came in. And within the week, the Americans come in and took that town back for the Allies, and then they flew him to England and then fixed his leg up, and here we are.
Hello, Peter. And then Ashley says, is there a match coming up? Or is that going to the boxing maybe?
Probably. I don't follow boxing much anymore. A lot of UFC stuff, and I watch, listen to Joe Rogan every night. I listen to it for 30 minutes at a time, and set my timer, and it shuts off. So a lot of the UFC stuff, I pick up on. I don't necessarily follow it all though. I used to follow sports real heavily with the shop and the cars, and God, I find myself just some things I don't follow as heavily as I used to.
Unknown, thanks for stopping by. I hope your goats
Yeah, I hope your
do
goats are
well.
good. Put that ad out.
Thank you for subscribing.
Oh,
We
thank you so much
appreciate
for the
that.
subscription.
And then Brad wants to know if you can show your Chevy again.
I can.
The blue and white one.
Time for me to get up anyways. I've been sitting too long. Okay, so we got a couple Chevys to show.
He was asking about the blue and white one.
So there's the blue and white one. There's the 55.
Trucker, that's a
It's an aluminum head
55.
stroker motor, lots of compression. It does have the Performer RPM, which I just took off and port matched it. And it's got ported heads on it. I was going to go with a single plane, but this thing does 60 foot times on street tires. I put a CVF pulley system on it. I had a funky pulley on it forever. So I put the CVF serpentine belt with the electric water pump. We had other electric water pump on it before. Hooker Super Comp headers. It's got a 1.6 roller rocker on it. It's a comp roller tip rocker. I didn't build the motor, so I don't know what's inside of it. I just know it has a ton of compression. It has a big camshaft. It's a 210 Del Rey. Everybody calls it a Bel Air, but it's not a Bel Air because it is missing. Not missing, it just doesn't have the chrome. It does have dealer added chrome, whether it was added at a dealership or a later date. We've had this car for a long, long time, but it was built in '84. It's absolutely filthy right now. God, every time I get up and show it, I'm like, I gotta wash this thing.
Can you start it?
I can start it, yep. So there it is inside. It's got the lap belt, and of course I got my helmet back there, and yeah, there it is. So that's the Chevrolet. I will start. It's dead cold, so let's see how it starts. Let's put it right like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, let's fire it up. Ask him if he wants to fire it up uncorked, uncapped.
Uncapped, uncorked, fire.
We have an electric button. So I have an electric button. I can turn the electric cutouts on it, or I can go out the Flowmasters, but let's see if it'll start. Oh, nope, it ain't gonna start. Hold on. I got the kill switch.
Oh.
I turned off the kill switch on it, so I could have went the other way. Stupid. What a dummy, walking the wrong way. All right, now we got fire. So let's see what we got. Can you still hear me when I get in here?
Well, I have the volume down.
Oh, okay.
Because
I'm sure you can. So there it is. Well, will it keep running? So there you go. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone or not, but it definitely has got some volume to it. Well, there you go.
So I think it's safe to say everybody loved that.
Oh, it's radical sound. It definitely turns heads because it doesn't look. I mean, it's nice and clean, but it's got a dual plane intake. It does have aluminum port heads and stuff, but when you fire this thing up with all that compression and all that cam it's got in it, and you know it runs. It's definitely a runner. Is there faster cars out there? Hell yeah, there's faster cars, but um, it'll hold its own. It kind of surprises people because it's a 3,200-pound full body car with street tires and running in 11s. So pretty proud how it runs.
All right, Ashley, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, what's for dinner?
And then GFM, Italy, South, and I can't pronounce it, Pagulia,
Okay.
in the province of Toronto, Taranto, Toronto. I want to say Toronto, but
Toronto.
Toronto. Is that the original color?
Yes. So it's not the original paint; it's the original color. So it's called cashmere blue. So it's a little different. I've had it next to cashmere blue cars, and it's definitely more of an Easter egg color. It's a little bit brighter of a blue, but it is technically cashmere blue, but it's an aftermarket cashmere blue. When it was painted in '84. So
So
it'll look
Ashley's
good.
having butter steaks. Bye.
All right, cool. We're having steak too tonight.
And it's 32 degrees in Italy right now.
Woo!
That's cold.
Why is it so cold there?
I don't
Isn't
know.
it Mediterranean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're down south there towards the sea.
And then, I want to ride.
Okay. Anytime.
Very nice. Hi, Alan. Hi, I think I saw Graham. And then, can you talk about your different kinds of pipes on the table?
I can. So, my wife, my bride, who's off camera here, reading all this stuff, her dad and I have the collection in the house, but had a pipe collection. That's how we got into this. We said, hey, let's try smoking it. He passed away years and years ago, and we found this trunk with all his German pipes in there. And so we smoked them and went to the Indian reservation. It's just up the road here and bought tobacco. And I almost passed out after smoking that stuff they sold me because I'm not a smoker, never have. And so, but I liked it. It was kind of enjoyable. And then I went and bought some good tobacco from my guy Vance down in Lewiston, Idaho. He turned me on to some good stuff. And then we smoked it again and we're like, okay, this is kind of fun. So I kind of took it up as a little hobby. I do every couple of days. I'll come out and smoke a pipe. My buddy Donnie, actually my buddy Chris says, hey, Donnie's got some pipe for sale. So my buddy Donnie went to another friend of mine named Kathy, and her dad had passed away years ago, but had a pipe collection, and he wanted to sell it. So I said, well, I'll buy it because I was kind of getting hooked. Like I think everybody does when they get hooked, they just buy stuff, and kind of neat because I went to high school with her, and Donnie also, and so so I bought the collection, and so the first one I bought. Let me back it up. So I bought a couple pipes. I bought these two right away. These were I bought from my guy Vance, and they're Minins or something out of France, somewhere like that. Yeah, MHINs. They're a fairly decent pipe, $50 pipes. So I bought those two. Then I went and bought the pipe from Donnie and Kathy, her dad's, and there's one of his pipes.
Is the corn cob a real corn cob pipe?
Yep, it is. It's a Meacham. So it's a Missouri Meacham, and that's the corn cob. And then we have just these other ones, and I forget all the names of them. I have to read them all off, but I can't see. I don't have the glasses on, and it's kind of darker in here. But anyway, so he's got this one that's all custom carved, and none of them have been used much. I think this one has been used probably more than most. It has a little bit of darkening on the top and a little bit of wear on the stem. About the whole collection from them. Another hand carved one. This one looks almost brand new. And then some of the smaller ones. And I think a lot of these are some of these are Dancos. I think it's the Danco. I forget what this one is. This is that white dot, the dot one. Again, that's just kind of cool. It's a small little pipe. So, and then this one has a native carved in the front of it. but that's a neat pipe. And I believe this is a Danco also. And then I have this cool one here. Well,
Did
kind of,
Popeye smoke the corn cob pipe?
I think so, yeah.
And then
And
are the tips plastic what makes a quality pipe?
not the right person to ask. So I don't know what makes a quality pipe. I know there's some kind of a different kind of a, and they're not supposed to pull it out. I just smoked this, so I'm not gonna pull it apart. But it has a really nice stem on it. This is an Italian Savinelli. I bought this pipe. So after I started getting hooked on it, I went and got an Italian Savinelli.
And pipes are all wooden, correct?
Yes, some of them. No, they're
Are
kind
some
of varied.
ceramic?
Some are ceramic. I'm gonna
Okay.
show them that. I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
So that's my Savinelli. That's not part of the collection. The other part of the collection is the briar root. Most of these are briar root, which is a root out of Turkey. But this one here is brand new. It's like a ceramic type on there. That one's never been smoked. That one's a brand new one. And that one is called Made for a Maiden Mousseline, a Stern Crest imported briar root. And I don't know what the briar root part is because this is all like white type stuff. Again, not an expert, just trying to learn as I go, trying to figure it out. So we got that one. And then we got the Church Warden, which I really like. The Danco Church Warden. This is a cool pipe. Look at that bad boy. I've smoked that one a lot. So that is a neat one. That lined up a little better. There we go. So the Church Warden is really a cool smoke. That was part of the collection. This is the one I tend to smoke. I am smoking the Savinelli now, almost exclusively now. I was doing this when I bought the Savinelli. It kind of changed my habit. And this is a Savinelli. This is a Bing Crosby or Bing's favorite is what they call it. Modeled after Bing Crosby with the kind of pipe he smoked. And this is the one that's been sandblasted versus the briar, the polished ones. So that's my collection there. And then my son, oh, and I got a pipe holder right here. This is pretty cool. I picked this up at a secondhand store.
Brad says, I don't smoke and I live in the Mecca capital. Oh, yeah. We didn't smoke either when we lived there.
No, we didn't either. So
Humboldt,
yeah,
yeah.
this is brand new to us. We go to Idaho where they don't allow any kind of.
Well, he's in
I know
Humboldt.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, in Idaho they don't allow much of anything, but well, they allow drinking though. They got a lot of drinking here, a lot of tobacco use, a lot of alcohol use. But yeah, and this is my little pipe stand, which is really cool, I thought. And I picked that up at a secondhand store for $7, which I thought, what a bargain for $7. It's probably worth more, but I'm not going to ever sell it. Well, unless it gets to $1 million, then I'll sell it, or 100,000 probably. I might sell for 20,000.
And they do make pipe stands for several. You can get them, I think, in all sorts of
So we have a pipe
sizes.
stand in the house with all her dad's German pipes on it. It's sitting on our mantle. I don't have them out here in the shop. And then my son Ryder bought me a humidor. It opens up like that. It's got a little thermometer on the front of it, a humidifier. And then I got the Tobacco World tobacco. And then I got, oh, it smells good. Ooh. And then Big Smoke tobacco. I got different kinds. This is BCA, which I don't know what BCA is. I'm gonna have to call him and ask him. My son's got it for me for Father's Day. And I got vanilla and cherry and just all stuff. And then I had a couple of these, which I thought were okay until I started smoking better tobaccos, these little envelope stuff. They're kind of chemically tasting. So, but I have those. And then what else do I got here? And I got another one of the Big Smoke. So that's kind of what we got there. And then of course, the one I just smoked today was the Colt. And it was Blood Red Moon pipe tobacco. Good stuff. Doesn't burn your tongue. It smokes really nice. It has a great aromatic. I'm an aromatic guy at this point because I'm new at this stuff.
Rolling Lighting says, light it up. And then GFM has 3 olive pipes.
As what?
3 olive pipes?
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been smoking a pipe here this whole time here. So, but I could light another one up, I guess, because according to the folklore or whatever, you're only supposed to smoke 1 pipe a day, and I smoked this one already today. So I'm gonna let that one cooler down, and I'll put it over here on the rack, pipe rack.
So they're a European olive.
Oh, really?
Is a very long living plant. It has hard feeling wood, and the pipes made of it are usually beautifully grained. So,
All right, well, let's do the church warden. How about that? Everybody want to see the church warden? So we got, let's see, we got the church warden we can smoke. How about the native one? Or what other one do we have here?
and Raj says pipes are very rare in India.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought with hookahs and all that they would be. Uh-oh, we got squawking chickens out there. So let's get one here. Let's get a. So let's start with this. Let's do the. So I was told the Jubilee is the most popular one in the United States. That's what the guy said. He goes, or not the United States, but in his shop. Very, very, very popular. He says by far the number one. And then kind of everybody around the United States, the Colt is really, really popular. That's why I bought that. So let's see. Church warden time.
Hookah is very popular, but this kind of pipes are rare.
Okay, that's cool to know. Yeah. Yeah, well, hookah's not at all here. I mean, there's very little. Ooh, the Jubilee smells good. All right, so church warden with the Jubilee. Does that sound right, or does anybody else have another pick?
Cool smoke.
All right, so I haven't heard, so I'm just gonna do the church warden. Sound like a plan to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess you put a paper towel over it and make sure you don't waste it, but I just put it in the bag. So I don't do a bunch of dropping. I've done a bunch of pipe cottage to the guy I watch on YouTube. He's a red-haired guy out of, I want to say he's out of Georgia, I think is where he's from, somewhere down there. He's a Southern aristocrat type guy. Red beard, red hair.
Yeah, Lightning is asking if I smoke too. I have occasionally,
She's had a couple.
once in a while, but not.
Did you want one?
No, I'm good.
Okay, you're good today?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to the Jubilee. I just kind of did the light pack like they said. You know, the baby finger type push down. And
Raj says if you get a chance, try tobacco from India.
oh, that would be cool. I would love to try tobacco from India. But I don't know where I'd get tobacco from India. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would love to smoke tobacco from
Do you
India.
order it, or do you, how do you
guess.
know?
Maybe you can send me some.
Do it for Gramps. Well, I mean, it's like I've had a couple. I just don't do it very often.
Yeah. So we get it all toasted on top like they said.
Oh, that smells good.
Yeah, this Jubilee it smells really good, doesn't it? So we need smell-o-vision because the Jubilee I'll tell you that Jubilee from the tobacco world up in Spokane, Washington, that stuff is nice.
I'm not sure, something Erica Borea root. I'm not sure if that's a style
A bear root, yep.
of root. And then where do you stay? If I ever visit there, I'll surely bring it for you. We are in Cottonwood, Idaho. Grandpa is proud, keeping the legacy alive. Yep. No doubt.
Well, that's the plan.
It's getting windy out there.
So there we go.
It does smell good.
Yeah, the Jubilee smells really good.
Our weather is good. It's getting kind of windy, which I guess it's that time of the day. But we're like 79 degrees, so it's really nice. It's not too hot.
Yeah, we're in shorts and flip-flop type things. I mean, I got my Hey Dudes on.
Yep. Yeah, it's tobacco, pipe tobacco.
Yeah, this is a pipe tobacco. This is called Jubilee. And the one I smoked earlier was the Colt. It was called Blood Red Moon pipe tobacco. This Jubilee smells good, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. It smells really good.
And then Rob says that church warden makes you look entirely too smart.
I just raised my IQ by 10 points.
It's 83 in Lithuania.
Lithuania?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I used Italico, Kentucky. That's from Italy.
Okay.
Over here in Kenya, we call that pipa Charlize. And then if you want to see car mods, you should visit India, mainly a state called Kerala from South India. I'm sure you will love it.
Okay. We'll have to look that up.
Don't tell me you're a flop trucker, Jimmy. Don't tell me you're a flop trucker. What was that?
I don't know.
Must have been something you guys were just talking about. Do you get the tobacco at a smoke shop or Wild Bill's?
So this is all from Smoke Shop. This.
Oh, flip flop trucker. I'm thinking because you said you're Hey Dudes.
Oh, I got Hey Dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is smoke shop. You got that from the smoke shop in Spokane?
Tobacco World in Spokane, Washington, located in the flour mill. Pretty cool place. It's actually it's an old world tobacco cigar shop. That's all he sells in there. It's just really cool. Really, really kind of fits the motif of, what, if you would imagine what a smoke shop would look like, but just in tobacco, that's what this place looks like. And the guy, I think his name is Doug, was super intelligent about this stuff. Nice guy, real nice guy. So,
How much do those pipes cost over there?
so the Savinelli over here, it's, I would say this Savinelli's probably about 110, 120 bucks, somewhere in there. They vary, the Petersons are, I mean, you can spend as much as you want. You can spend 150 bucks for them, you can spend 350 bucks for them. A lot of these Meacham corn pipes, they're not expensive. They're like 40, 50 bucks. This was a $49 pipe, and this is a $51 pipe.
And yes, Brad, he does hunt here in Idaho.
Do I hunt deer in Idaho?
Do you hunt in Idaho?
I do. Not this year, though. Not this year, but yep. I killed a nice buck 2 years ago here in Idaho. But I am a big deer hunter.
Joe is back.
All right, Joe.
GFM, it's Virginia, ? Which I've already forgotten where we were at. Oh. It's Virginia. Oh, okay, in Virginia.
So this tobacco has a little bit of a tongue bite to it. This Jubilee. This Colt has 0.
Hi from Tennessee, originally SoCal. Y'all love your pipe. Awesome sauce. That's Patricia. Can I pet that dog? Oh, my dogs are in the house.
And what part of Southern California are you from? Because I am from California.
308 or 6.5 Creedmoor for hunting.
I use a 270 Weatherby mag. And I had a 300 for years, but 300, well, I'm a Weatherby guy.
And then, hey, from Rhode Island, that is a sweet pipe. Is that a CJ5?
That is a CJ3B, a 1953 high hood.
And then Brad likes a 270 for out of state.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a 270 Weatherby mag guy. Basically the same ballistics as a 7mm. 7 mag.
308, a flat shooting gun.
No. I have a 308. It's not flat shooting at all.
So Patricia was LA, Pasadena, Santa Ana, California, plus Seattle, Washington, etc.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm from Sacramento, and then lived in Redding for a while, and we were in Susanville and Fortuna.
And then Kevin says, holy crap, I didn't know they still made pipes like that. How old is that pipe?
This one's old, but they still make them. You can still buy a church warden. This is the Danco. church warden. The story behind the church warden is because every church has a warden that watches the church, makes sure there's no vandals, that kind of stuff, and he works within the church, mows the lawn, that kind of stuff. And a lot of them were pipe smokers, and they would say with these long stems, they'd hang it out the window so they didn't smoke in the church.
Patricia's brother was Sacramento as well. So
All right.
all the
Yeah, I
same
was born and raised in
areas.
Sacramento.
Bradley, his father had a British Enfield 303 rifle, bought it from someone for $50.
Oh, that's
Worked
cool.
amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, I do like 308 caliber. When I shoot the blacktails in California, the smaller ones, I take the 308, but the Weatherby's a little overkill for it, especially this little blacktail. And the area we hunt is so short shooting that I carry a saddle type gun with a 308 cartridge in it.
Um, Two interesting things. Nice. So do you do tobacco only, like no weed? Because those pipes are dope, but they don't burn the starch quickly. They are dope, my guy. Big up.
Never smoked weed, so I don't know. Tobacco.
Yep. And then Rosh says, is that old car legal to drive there?
Oh, yeah.
It's nearly 40 to 50 years old cars. In India, we can't drive a 30-year-old car.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that one's, well, the Jeep is a 53, a 55 Chevy, and a 91 Blazer, K5 Blazer.
Now, we just got a comment, and I don't know if he's referring to something he has or what, but he says 1940 Jeep Willis, double transmission, A pinion Alpina gas tank under the driver's seat.
That's cool.
So,
So this is a 53. This has the 265 Chevy V8, and it was put in 1961. I don't know what the differentials are, but they're updated of some sort. I do know it has front and rear lockers in it. It has a full tank under the seat under both sides. It's a 25-gallon tank under the front seat. And then it has the Cutlass hubs, which are precursor to Warren hub. Yeah, cool.
so GFM says, why you smoke? Now I got to do another recharge. Say it was peer pressure.
I got somebody's like, hey, fire one up. And so I just did.
And then Bradley says, wondering what that blue car is. My father-in-law, rest in peace, has a 1962 Corvette convertible with 35,000 original miles in his garage.
Wow. I'm a Corvette guy. Did I ever mention that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 55 Chevy.
Hello to Solomon.
Hello?
Bradley says, oh, wow, a collector's car. Back to OTIG, and I'm not sure. Welcome, y'all. Hi, Patricia. Very nice. Rumpelstiltskin, was nice talking to you all. Got a scoot. Catch you later. It was great having you here. Thank you.
Thank you. And I love the handle Rumpelstiltskin. That's cool. That's really cool. That's fun stuff.
And then I think another one that I don't know.
We'll see you next time around, Rumpelstiltskin.
ROBIH. I'm not sure if that's what language that is.
Okay.
Oh God, in India, they are very strict about vehicles emission and vehicle fitness, so they won't allow cars older than 30 years. After 30 years of a car, it won't even be worth a penny here. We have to scrap it.
Really?
Ugh, that's a shame.
Yeah, we're car people here. So, and in this, this neck of the woods, it's all car stuff. So,
Yeah, they'll never have the classics.
yeah. Uh-oh. We got the post office here. Those are your bags for your soap.
Oh, good. Good.
So my bride, who's sitting off camera, she sells soap, and we have it on the Jimmy James Garage, Knuckle Busters, and that. We should be working on that Shopify cart to get that thing up and running. We've sold quite a bit of soap, but she makes a beef tallow, pure beef tallow, and it doesn't have any other crap in it. It has things to make it soap, but nothing that's no harsh stuff, like they put in regular soap, no dyes and all that stuff. And then it has pumice in it. So it has a natural pumice and grass-fed beef tallow. And this stuff is actually amazing. That's why we sell so much of it. So,
Rolling Lightning, salute to Grandpa Gotta Go. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
yep. And who is that?
Rolling Lightning.
All right, Rolling Lightning. Thank you so much. I appreciate you participating and throwing out some comments and stuff. Thanks for stopping by.
And then Rosh, I'm a big car enthusiast. I would rather choose 80s and 90s cars rather than the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Patricia, thank you. Yes, cool soap. Rob, he's talking to Roshan. Is there a way to get some of those cars to the USA? Depending on what you have, you could make some money.
Yep.
Yep. Bradley, I'm a bread baker myself. Nothing quite like making your own goods. Yum, bread. Ooh, you never have enough bread. I agree, Patricia. Sourdough is the best.
I like sourdough bread. Who doesn't like sourdough?
Who doesn't like bread in general? Bread and pasta, my favorites.
We've been on this health kick. We don't eat as much bread and pasta as we used to.
Richard wants that Jeep, and he subbed. Thank you. Appreciate that. You'll get to watch all the goings on with it then.
So, I don't know if I told you the story about the Jeep or not, but it was my extended family's had it since the 50s. Passed down from his uncle to him, and Bob, the family passed it to me, and I'm getting it back to. It's been sitting for quite a few years. It was just parked in the shop. Real reason it was just parked, and we always bugged Bob to get it going. And well, now guess what? It's here, and I'm going to get it going. And my grandkids and Richie's grandkids and Randy will jump in it. My brother and all of us will jump in it again and enjoy it here very, very soon. It's a what do you call it? It's an heirloom. It's an emotional type build. I don't get too emotional about stuff, but that's definitely one of them. Brings back a lot of memories. Oh, there's a big old giant bee.
Richard, it is a Jeep Willys. He said, is it a Scout? It's a Jeep.
It's a Jeep. It's a 1953 CJ3B.
Joe says one of his favorite cars is a Buick Grand National.
I can agree with that.
So
when I worked at the dealership, and I work at a Buick dealership, and all the Grand Nationals, we ended up, our service manager, we went and told him, us mechanics were kind of into, 80s cars then. And we said, oh, we got to get this Grand National. He goes, well, I'll put an order in for 10 of them or something. And most dealerships got one. We got 3. And I checked them all in. The tires work good on them.
Rob, thank you. He said the soap is amazing. Him and his son used it after pulling the engine yesterday, and he hates wearing gloves. So the soap made quick work on removing grease and oil. Glad to hear it.
Good deal. You know what I noticed about the soap too? Is it's not slimy and it doesn't dry your hands out.
And then Rosh says, how much does a Mustang cost here?
Well, I mean, that's
A loaded
what
question.
kind of a Mustang are we talking first? And Mustangs actually aren't that expensive here. They're starting to catch on, but they made a freaking gazillion of them and people kept them. So you can buy a good 65 Mustang for under 20 grand, and maybe in the 20s if it's really nice.
Patricia liked the story time. Richard says, what's the blue piece to your left?
Oh, that's my 55 Chevy.
And then Brad, 67 to 69 Camaro for him.
Yeah, that's a good car.
GFM sounds like he's doing a crumbled Kentucky cigar.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Crumbled cookie cigar?
Crumbled Kentucky.
Oh, I was saying, I've never heard of a crumbled cookie cigar.
Sounds good too.
A crumbled Kentucky cigar does sound good.
So Rosh is saying like a Ford Mustang 97.
Oh, they're not very valuable here in the United States. You can find them all the time. They're a very popular car. Very popular and very available. They're sought after. People like them. That's why, but they're available. They made a bazillion of them. 15 grand for a freaking smoking one.
So he cut a Kentucky cigar and put it in the pipe. So
Oh, I've never done that.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
that's a thinking. What about a 2024 new Mustang?
I have no clue. On the newer cars, I don't really know. I mean, I'm not a big newer car guy, so They're there. There's a lot in Lewiston has got them all on the lot.
I mean, what are they probably 40, 50, 60 where they
Yeah, they're probably in the
range?
40s. Again, it depends what level of Mustang you get. Mustang has different levels. You can buy a V6 Mustang, with nothing in it, pretty inexpensive.
And then Joe says should go with a Fox body Mustang.
Yeah, the old Fox bodies are cool. They made a lot of those. Between that Camaro and that Mustang, they were real popular in those days. And they're small. They're not very big. They don't weigh a lot. A lot of guys are doing LSs in them.
What do you think of the Hellcat?
I think it's a cool car. It's out of my price range. They run good. I've seen them at the drags run them a lot. They go out there and they'll put like a plastic over the back, behind the back tires so they don't get a bunch of rubber on, put slicks on them, and them cars fly.
And then Richard was commenting, I think, on what the 5060 probably brand new on the Ford or the Mustangs. Not that special.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you, it's 2.5 times higher in India. Like it's 100K there in India. It will cost about 230K. Wow.
Well, they're nowhere near 200K here. You're in the 40s probably. I mean, you can get a special edition one, with all the bells and whistles, well under 100 grand. I mean, I think the new Corvette, they were over 100 grand for a little while there, but you can get them in the 80s now for a brand new rear engine Corvette.
That's wild. That's wild.
Why it's so much more money there, I wonder. Doesn't cost that much to ship it.
Well, obviously, though, if they're putting a limit on things too, I
Right.
mean, if you can only have them for 30 years. Highway Patrol running the Dodges Hellcats, question mark.
I didn't know they were running the Dodges.
It's got to be a really good car to hit 6 digits. Wow, that's worse than ever. Even California, that responding to Rosh.
Well, like a Toyota Tundra, the new Tundras, fully loaded, decked out, are probably about 70 grand.
Rosh says, I sometimes feel like I should leave India just for cars.
Do they not have car shows there?
Yeah, I mean, what is...
Old vintage like 55 Chevys. I mean,
Well, if
or
they
an old
have to
Porsche.
destroy them, they probably don't.
Wow.
If all you get is 30, then they're disposable.
And they don't have any antique type ways or anything about it?
Yeah, Rosh, I mean, how does that work? Do they just not have any?
Seems like a waste.
Toyota's Brad's favorite. We do like the Toyotas.
Yep. I own a Toyota. I've owned many, many, many of them. My current daily driver is a Tundra.
Rosh says, we have. It's really crazy, but most of them are Hondas and BMWs.
Oh,
So just a different. Richard says, you put anything other than tobacco in that pipe?
I don't. And every time I smoke a pipe on YouTube Live, everybody always asks if I put anything different in it. That's funny. No 420 in them. All I do is tobacco. In fact, right now we lit up the Jubilee. I had the Savinelli and I had the Colt. And I'm learning, but they say only smoke one pipe a day, one kind of pipe. So I had to switch to the church warden.
Richard says, big weed smoke. Just not for us.
Yeah. A lot of people do. I don't have a problem with it. Doesn't matter to me. It's not my thing.
Got any wisdom for someone who has many regrets in life and maybe how to cope with them?
Well, everybody's got it. You just got to move past it. And the only one that can get you to move past it is you. And it's already done, so you better as well stop regretting about it. So, because you ain't going to bring it back unless you do something to fix it in the future.
And you can always talk to somebody about the regrets so you can at least file them away and be like, okay, and then move on from it.
And you got to move on because you don't have a choice. It's gone. A regret means it already happened. So, yeah, you can mourn about it for a minute, but then you just got to move forward.
Well, you recognize it and
Right.
you move on.
Find somebody to talk it out with.
Own a Dodge Diesel 5.9 6-speed workhorse.
Oh,
That's
that's cool.
Brad.
Yep. So when those came out, when those what do they call them, 12 valves, whatever those things are, them 6-cylinder Cummins in those Dodges. I worked at the dealership, and I had a 6.2 Chevy. I had different heads on it. I had a set of big block headers we made for it. Um, I had the glass packs turned around backwards. What else did I do? I had a different injector pump on it, no turbo. But I had everything basically you could do to a GM, the Detroit Diesel 6.2, and it was in a 4-wheel drive short bed Chevy truck, and it was king of the hill. It would beat all the Fords, it'd beat all the other Chevys, and that come out, and the sales manager next door at the Dodge dealership says, "Hey, we just got that Cummins in. It's going to eat your truck for lunch." And so at lunchtime, we went and lined him up, and I went out in front of him by about a truck length, and that's as far as I won. And then he went by me like I shut my car off. That turbo hit on that thing, and that thing just slung right by me. And I went, "Oh well, I guess there's a new big dog in town." And that Cummins has never looked back really for the most part. I know the Duramax and that Power Stroke is rivaled it at times, but that Cummins has been pretty solid all the way through. Our son owns a Cummins.
Richard asks, would you hire someone who smokes? Listen, we have
Yeah,
friends, we have family who smoke. It's none of my concern.
Dwayne. Oh no, smoke weed.
Smoke weed,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't give a
I
crap.
mean, and it's like, but I mean, we aren't,
It's just not my thing.
yeah, we're not hiring anybody, just hanging out in our garage, but I mean, to each his own. Um, Favorite hand tool you own?
Probably my ratchet. I really like my Snap-on ratchet. I've had it forever. I've had it since like '85.
And this is very interesting. Again, Rosh says in India, the tax rules are very different for cars, especially cars above 4 meters. We have to pay 50% of the car price as a tax.
Really?
They don't want you to have anything nice.
Man, it sounds like they want you to walk. Huh.
424 valve HO Cummings, Brad says.
Okay.
GFM has a Ford Focus diesel 1.8 2004. Nice.
That's cool.
Um,
That's really cool.
Rosalind says, get high, get paid.
We even got wind coming in here.
Joe says, what's my favorite tool is my wife. She might feel the same way back, Joe. You might be her favorite tool. Favorite big block Chevy?
502.
502.
ZZ 502. Great motor. If you port the heads on it and you do a few little tricks to it, they come alive.
So Rosh also says, have you heard about Toyota Fortuner? It's a SUV from obviously India, so they must have different names.
Is
But
it
a Ford,
kind of like the new FJs? The new FJs are out in here in the United States.
Rob likes his Milwaukee cordless ratchet. It's a lifesaver due to physical limitations. The X showroom. Fat Fuzzy Potato says, oh, damn good one. And then Joe says, yeah, she's here watching.
Yeah, the cordless ratchet, I have one. I have an AC Delco cordless ratchet. I like it a lot. I just got sentimental used to that snap-on ratchet. When they come out, I bought one and it was cool. And I have snap-on tools. And so it's my oldest one. It was expensive at the time and it works good. Just had it rebuilt. Actually, the snap-on guy here in town rebuilt it for me about 2 months ago. Works great. Everything good? Numbers still good?
41.
Okay.
Hello, how many months are you?
Me?
Yeah. Due any day. Where is your state? We
Idaho.
are Cottonwood, Idaho. And then Brad says, Jimmy, bring your 55 Chevy to the car show.
I should throw it on the trailer and go. We've been on the road so much lately. Golly. We did the Fortuna car show a lot, and the cruise and all that.
The showroom price of that SUV is $35K USD, but after you buy it, after the tax, it would cost you $72K.
Wow. That's like, I do love these lives because you get people from other countries and they can tell you all the stuff that's going on, and it's just so interesting to me. It's like, it's definitely, it's a little shocking. Excuse me, to be honest with you. 72K. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable, the cost that other countries pay for stuff. And I wonder why. What's the
He
reasoning?
says we're making the Indian government rich by paying taxes.
Oh, well, we were doing that in the United States until lately. Hopefully that changes. Because if all our government officials are all loaded, I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican, all of them got bucks. And none of them really worked. All they did was tell us what we wanted.
Miguel says, which car is on the background? Good night from Spain.
So the car right behind me is to my left here. That's 55 Chevy. The one behind me is a 53 CJ3B Willys, and then the right is the Blazer, is this 91 K5 Blazer. And good night, Spain.
Just tube, change your ways. We're working on it, Harry. Thanks.
What are they saying?
Change your ways. He was the one that asked how many months you were.
Oh, well, considering I was 284 pounds and I'm not that anymore, I think I'm okay. I'm going in the right direction.
You're working on it. Hi from the UK. Love old American cars. When I was young, I would watch Kojak Streets of San Francisco, Ironside, just for the cars.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Miguel says, wow, that is very cool. What are you, a big spider? Go away.
That makes me laugh. Somebody comes on here and comments on your physique and tells you to change their ways. I appreciate the pep talk.
Did that spider go? Where did that spider go?
Speaking of changing my ways, I need to go get something to eat. I haven't eaten today. What time is it?
3:41.
Oh, well, it's getting up there.
Time to wrap it up.
Yep. I'm almost done here. Let me finish my pipe and then we'll wrap it up, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Harry says, I was talking to Just Tubes, not you, Jimmy. So.
Oh, okay. All right, all good. But we have changed our ways. That is a true statement. Any other comments?
It's going on 6 here in Illinois.
Okay.
And then I think GFM says 0041 must be his time now, which in Italy would be.
Oh, 12.
So.
12:41.
In India, it's 4:11 a.m.
4:11.
Thanks for hanging, Raj.
411, that's what we
man.
got in the back of the 55 Chevy. Got 411 gears.
We're keeping you up, Raj.
And in Illinois, so you and I experienced Illinois for the first time about 20-something years ago.
We went to Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Hi, I am from Uganda. Love the red car.
Well, thank you. It's a Willy's Jeep.
Would you go skydiving?
Nope.
That's a no for me,
You know,
too.
if I had a purpose to go skydiving, I would do it. If I had something that I needed to do, I'm not afraid of it that way. But just to go risk my life and jump out of the sky, and I haven't experienced if it was super fun or not, I'm not going to do it. So.
And then the UK, 11:42 p.m.
Okay. From the United Kingdom. Yeah, but Illinois, we really liked Chicago, and that's just us getting out of California and getting on a plane. And we had another business we were involved with. Had to go to Chicago to do business stuff, and we spent a week there and went to Ditka's and went downtown and really experienced Chicago and a little bit of the. We stayed in the outskirts of Illinois, of Chicago too, one night. It was a pretty neat place.
Rosh was like, I didn't even realize that I'm on stream from 1 hour.
Oh, really?
Just 1 hour UK's versus IT. Curtis says, how much for the old Willys? It's not for
It will never
sale.
be for sale by me or my family. So it's a hand me down or a hand me up. It's yeah, it's one of those sentimental deals. It was well, let's just call him Uncle Bob. It's from Uncle Bob. It was his Jeep, and it was his uncle's before that. So I've known it my whole life. I went on the Rubicon at 4 years old with it. They were I did more deer hunting, and it was the first car I ever drove. So it's like my first vehicle, even though it wasn't my first vehicle. It was the first one I ever drove. So the sentimental value on that one and the 55 is off the chart. So I've sold and bought every vehicle I've ever owned for the most part, but these two are the exception to that rule. So, but yes, I appreciate you asking because I like them. I think they're cool. And we're bringing this one back to life. It's been sitting in the shop for a while, and I just polished the hood today, and we're just going to get it cleaned out and just going to get it running again. Clean out I got to pull the gas tank on, reupholster the seat, and go through the carburetor. Water pump leaks on it, so we got a few things to do.
Brad says, you guys are awesome. Keep the wife on the radio. She could do TV too. Thanks, Brad. Rosh, that's what I love about USA and other countries. They respect cars no matter how old it is, and mainly there are no rules and regulations for age of car.
Yeah, that's shocking to me. I didn't know that that was a thing. And thanks for letting us know that. That's kind of, it sometimes finding out what's going on in other places makes you really appreciate what we have. Sometimes we take it for granted.
And then what kind of tobacco?
This one is Jubilee.
Is it a cherry?
It's a cherry Jubilee.
Cherry Jubilee, yep.
And then the one I smoked earlier on the other pipe was the Blood Red Moon pipe tobacco by Colt.
And then DK says hi, and
And this one's having a hard time. Actually, I packed it down too much, so I'm struggling with it.
Yay, we just got 100 likes.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for all the tapping and liking and all the subscribes we've had today and all the interaction. We do this for interaction. It gives me it's kind of like going to the car show or going and visiting without, it's more modern. So we enjoy it. Something we try to do a couple times a week. I'd love to learn, like India today was a big hit on there. Loved hearing all about how things are done there, and it's very interesting. So
Joe was wondering if you could show the cars.
I can. This pipe's kicking my butt. I'm done with it. All right. So let's show them, because that's what we're about at Jimmy James Garage, all about the cars. Oh, we're getting low on battery.
Brad, for live streaming, I don't know, it's just kind of
What's that now?
no specific days for live streaming.
No,
at this
no
point.
specific, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of whenever.
As I get more into this YouTube stuff, we've been at it for about 6 months and we are monetized, but as I get better at what I do, I'm going to do more scheduling of it.
Yeah.
But it's coming. I just haven't done that.
It's just kind of random at this point.
Yeah. Especially because I haven't had videos that I've put out, so I do some more live streams. So
And
there's
then
the 55 Chevy. What's
Really
that?
quick, I'm going to answer Curtis. Do they still make Captain Black pipe tobacco? I can still smell my Uncle Ed's pipe 25 years after he passed. I don't know. We don't know because Jim's new at this, so don't have a whole lot of history on it. But I bet maybe a quick Google search might tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it called? Captain Black?
Captain Black pipe tobacco.
We'll have to look it up too.
So
All right. So 55 Chevrolet with the aluminum headed stroker motor. They're fully ported heads. I just repainted the intake. I painted it that titanium silver blue. I just like that color. And then, of course, I showed a video of how I polished the Performer RPM parts and the Chevrolet parts. And this was my dad's car. Had it long time now. Has a CVF pulley system on it that I just installed. CVF has been amazing. They're a great company, and they got some nice quality stuff. And that stuff is really nice, really, really nice. I can't say enough about them. And let's see. And I did buy it with my own money, the CVF stuff. So they didn't sponsor it at all. It's just me telling you how great it was. And then car needs a wash job, but there's my 55 210 Del Rey. It's got a Ford 9-inch in it. It's got a 4500 stall. It's turbo 350. It's got a set of Simpson racing belts in it. And yeah, it's just a nice car. Very nice car. We really like it. It's fast. Runs in the 11s. It's got the battery cut off in the trunk and all that. Then I have my Pontiac Safari. There's the wheels for it. But, so that's it was going to be our next project, but it keeps getting pushed back. So, and then out there's the farm truck that we're going to do the cattle truck. Can't really see it, but it's a 60 Chevy. And then we have the latest in the fleet, the Willys. First vehicle I ever drove. And we're going to bring it back to its former glory. In fact, I just buffed the hood out today. Just the one side of it. So the paint's coming back. We're going to get that seat repulsed. Got some rips in it. That's a Cadillac seat. And then I used to ride on the back of that hunting deer. Been in that Jeep a million times. It's got we were told on another live that it was for the old dozer winch on there. So, in fact, they said the winch is probably worth more than the Jeep, which is kind of interesting. It's got an A-arm tow bar on it. And then if you've seen Survivor and you've seen Coach Ben Wade, he's on the 50th season of Survivor. That is his Blazer that I'm getting running for him, getting it running better. It's running like crap. So I'm doing a complete tune-up, fixing headlights, and just kind of going all over it since he's on Survivor now. And I've been doing videos on it, and I'll have those out when Survivor hits. But that's his Blazer, what we're working on. And then I have a 52 Chevy out here that had to come out to get the Blazer in. And the chickens are laying under it. But that's an original paint car. An old 6-cylinder in it. So it's a real nice car. I got all the tires for it. And then this is what we're going to put in these. I got a 6.0 in that truck. And a 4L80E. That's got to come out. My wife wants this stuff cleaned up. We had a little mini wrecking yard here a few weeks ago. Well, last month and a half probably. So we got to get that back cleaned up so we're looking good again before we get kicked out of the neighborhood. And then that's it on the cars. Oh, and I got a 5.3 on the stand over there. An LS. There's an LS right there. Oh. Yep. And there's the old Willys. But it's going to shine up good. You can see the hood. What I did was I just did the one side so far, just to show the difference of it just sitting in the shop. So you can kind of see how dingy it was. And then when I put a buffing wheel on it, shined right up. So this thing's going to come back and look great. And then I just got this back on the road running. Had a water leak and got that fixed. Got the new pulley system on it, painted the valve covers and stuff. And so that's it with that. And then the 60 Chevy is a tap truck. We're going to build, we're having a little business we're putting together. We're going to do mobile bar stuff. So there we go. So any other questions I missed while I was walking around?
No, just fired up the pipe.
Okay.
It was just fired up.
All right.
Brad says you should be proud. Nice collection of toys and your wife.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have annual car check in the U.S. after watching VGG and roadkill driving? I'm amazed you can drive on the road without a government test similar to UK MOT. So, nothing.
No government test here. You just
Greetings from Iceland. Hello.
Iceland. That's cool. Iceland's been in our news a lot lately. Or is it Greenland? Greenland was the one that's been on there, right?
Yeah.
It's Greenland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iceland, that's cool. What's up? What's up? What's the weather like in Iceland? So yeah, no government test. You just have to go to DMV and register your car. If you're in California, you might want to give a left arm or a left leg to register because it's very expensive in that state. I think New York's kind of expensive, but the rest of us in America don't have to pay those extraordinary numbers. I think my new Tundra is like $80 a year. These are like 30 something dollars. And then yeah, you get like this has a classic car registration, a lot cheaper, and I can only drive it so many miles a year. But there's no checks on it. They don't know what I drove or don't drove. They don't care. You know, most people aren't commuting in these things, let's face it. So it's kind of a self-governed thing. It's not really an issue. California has smog checks, so California's big on that kind of stuff. They check them depends what county you're in, but most counties check them every 2 years, make sure they pass smog, still are running appropriately. And if not, they get red flagged and then they're an issue. You have to fix them. But so you got a lot more freedoms that way here. We don't have to put up with that.
So John says we need MOT insurance and road tax in the UK, big fines.
So we have to have insurance in the state, and each state is state by state, but most states have to have insurance. And you gotta have proof of insurance. When I registered the cars, they didn't ask for proof here in this state, but we have to have it. So if you get pulled over, they ask for license registration.
Brad, have a good one. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much, Brad. Appreciate it.
And Breezy, a tree.
A what?
A tree.
A tree.
Would you rather see a tree grow or a knee grow? Oh, and I did it. He got me.
Oh, God.
Totally got me. I was going to totally ignore it, and then you asked. Good one, Breezy.
Actually, you got to give it to them.
Yeah.
Most of them are lame. That one
Right.
actually got you.
Yep. Got me.
Then they're gonna cut that out of there and say what you are. You're just such a
Right.
bad person.
I know.
So at least that's a good one. We get them all the time on these lives, and we kind of skip through them. I'm sure she skipped through a bunch of them.
Today wasn't bad.
We had one day it was really bad. They were just like one after another. It's like, oh my gosh. But it was the first day of school out, and I think they were all just hammering it. But
About 5 hours, I go to work. Now I go to bed. It's been a pleasure to talk with you. See you soon. Bye-bye from Italy. It was great having you in there.
Right,
We
Italy.
appreciate it.
There we go. We
Next-
love Italy.
Next time you can smoke another pipe.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, and the chicken just went into the 55 engine bay. Yeah, that chicken's naughty.
It went to the engine bay?
Yeah.
Went under it, huh?
Thanks, Joe. You have a great one too. Thanks for coming by and hanging out.
No chicken. I don't see the chicken. Did it go in it? I don't see it.
Right, Rob.
Oh well. I have a way to get it out.
Bye, GFM.
All right, one last fire up. Let's fire it up one last time. Can you see it on the cars in the video there?
Yes, it's turned to you.
All right, let's fire it up one last time.
One last hurrah.
There it is. I don't know if you can hear it on my mic. I'm sure you can. It's a little loud. There it is. So All right, that's the last fire up of the day.
Yes, Harry, it is fast. Hell yeah, throw you could fit a lot of heifers in there, bud. All right, guys. Well,
Oh, we're getting low on the battery.
it's
Battery's getting low.
time to say goodbye.
Hell yeah, a lot of heifers in there.
What do the rear tires look like?
They're Mickey Thompson. They're the street stickies, or whatever they call them. So 275 60 15s with a 4.9 inch. The street SS is what they are. With a 4.9 inch and the aluminum center section of Caltrax. Well, there it is. There she be. Oh, that's the car.
Gotcha on the chicken, Jimmy.
What's that now?
Gotcha on the chicken.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty good. Gotcha.
Right? Got you, got me.
I looked everywhere. I was like, I didn't see no chicken. That's why I fired it up. And there's the Willys. And there's the
All
Safari.
right, Rosh is taking off.
All right, we're
4:30
taking off
a.m.,
too.
Gotta sleep now. See you soon. Have a great day. Sweet dreams.
All right. See you guys. See you, Rob. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.